Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei was trash outed by everyone and become Saiyan with Gabriel movie. Before we start, please go support PeladosapitoMedina for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. My worst life chapter 1. Because he mistreats me was always my thought. The answer was very easy. For not having a sacred gear, my older brother Ikki hyoudou has a more specific sacred gear, the Red Emperor Dragon, one of the 13 Longinus. My sister Issei has the Tiamat Dragon, one of the Dragon Kings. Issei hyoudou was nobody, I had nothing else. He mistreated me as if I were simple garbage, but I knew who was responsible. If it weren't for that heiress of the Germari and Sitri clans who told my parents in the supernatural world, this wouldn't be happening to me. It was my thought every day, every night, even years. Present. The hyoudou Mino Issei family is gathered, since for them, Issei was someone unimportant, but they talk about how they are going to torture Issei more for not having a sacred gear. In that, Rias calls attention to everything. It's true, how could I forget that portal, said Rias with malice in her voice. What is Rias talking about? Because I couldn't finish, because I remembered that Porta was talking about her friend Ella and she put on the same smile as Rias. Those carry words and sounds, said Issei with great curiosity. It's a portal that opens every 11 years, Rias said with malice in her voice. Think, throw that trash away, Ikki said in a very bored tone, but also, she had the same tone as both demons. We're waiting. I do T want to see that useless guy anymore, said Ikki's mother with repudiation in her voice, but also with disgust, and she always repeated to Issei that it was a mistake. You're right, my dear. I don't want to see that stupid person who calls himself son anymore. You don't know how much I regret that he's my son, said Ikki's father with hatred in his voice. Then, let's throw that trash away, said Rias with a malicious smile, so everyone agreed, but for the last farewell, she was going to torture Issei in the worst possible way, and they went to Issei's room. With Issei. He was in his room with a lot of beatings that he gave him every day. There was not a day that he let them hit him. He didn't make him eat either, he just taught himself to cook at the age of 5. He was lonely, his friend hyoudou also hit them. But he never thought he would go this far. Because, he repeated to brown-haired boy with lost eyes, since when his parents found out that his two brothers had sacred gear, they became very arrogant, but then the door opened without his permission. What do you want, you damn bitch? Said the brown-haired boy with a cold but dead voice, but that bothered Rias a lot, who only launched an attack towards the brown-haired boy that crashed against one of the walls. You fear more garbage when you see me, and don't talk to me in that tone, you said, laughing in an arrogant tone. I wouldn't even have menstruation hair on you, I'd rather be in hell itself, said the brown-haired boy mockingly, but that comment made Rias and her sister very angry. How dare you call me that again, you damn scum, said Rias with red eyes that shone a little as she charged an attack to throw it again at the brown-haired boy, who only gave a cry of pain. What I told you hurts you. The truth is that as if I wanted to, I don't finish the chestnut because you laugh I'll give him another attack. Shut up, you've had enough of me. We're going to throw you into a dimension where you're going to die. After all, you said you'd rather be in hell itself, so you'll be in that place, Rias said angrily, but happy at the end. It's true, we're going to kick you out, nobody can stand you in this house anymore, said Issei with hate in his voice. No, you're better, you're trash that we're going to throw away right now, plus I hate that he's my brother. I've hated him since you were born, Ikki said with hatred, only to kick Issei in the face which made him bleed. Rias, let's go now, the portal is about to open. Remember that the portal only opens every 11 years, she said, sounding serious since she never wanted to see Issei again in her life. It's true, let's go now, said Rias maliciously. So the hyoudou family took him by force because he was resisting, but they beat him almost to death and left him very weak since he did not even have the strength to resist. So they began to open a door that made you laugh and smile with malice. There she is in the door, said Rias with malice in her voice, and then everyone there began to laugh, something that scared the brown-haired boy a little. What are we waiting for, let's throw it away, said Issei's ex-mother seriously but with a malicious smile. I'm finally going to free myself from a responsibility that wasn't worth it, damn trash, you should never have been born, said Issei's former father. Goodbye trash, they all said, just for Rias and Sona to launch an attack together, just for them to hit her in the chest and making Issei cross into that portal that was going to be their new home for a long time, but even so, it was going to have a very good result. Issei's power awakening. Issei didn't know what he was doing, he was scared, badly injured, they were going to be here forever. But then he remembered the word of that demon that this portal opens every 11 years, he only had to wait a little while for it to open again, but even so he was scared. What he saw with his own eyes was as if he were in hell itself multiplied by 50 times. The sky was a dark and red color like blood, that was what I gave it, but I was afraid, I didn't know how to defend it, so I lived here for 11 years, so that the door would open again. Why am I so weak? Issei said between screams, while with his right hand, he grabbed the ground with dirt, only to see his hand already pressing hard, only for a little blood to come out. Damn, I'm a disgrace, if only they had a little power, Issei said in a shout, while hitting his head on the ground. But the sky began to turn darker, even lightning began to form in the sky, but 2 lightning bolts fell next to Issei, leaving 2 crackers. But if he did look very good, his hair was beginning to take on a different hair color, but it was reflected in his shadow. Only for his body to start being covered in lightning and his hair to turn yellow again. Just to get up from the ground he already presses his fists hard. While remembering all his lives, which was a complete life of suffering only to give a scream and making a big cracker because of the wave that current that Issei did. Issei looked surprised, but he couldn't believe that that power was his, so he trained that power until he made it and showed him that he wasn't weak. He would show his family and that devil that he wasn't weak. So Issei decided to train. That strange power that came out of nowhere, a year passed and he could already control the transformation, but he realized that he could achieve more transformations because he unlocked a new one and he named it Super Saiyan Phase 2. Because a monster attacked them and he was able to unlock that transformation because he remembered why he was in that place. Another year, Issei was already 8 years old in that place. But it also unlocked another transformation that was more powerful than this. It was hell for 2 years, but it was also giving good results. It was more powerful. That transformation was obtained when 2 monsters attacked them. But that monster was absurdly powerful. When it responded to a powerful attack it began to increase its power until he spent another year training that power to make it his dream and he was successful. But another year passed before Issei had another more powerful transformation, which is Super Saiyan 3. When he faced a very powerful cat but managed to wake it up having peace in his heart, and when he defeated that cat, Issei decided to call that transformation Super Saiyan God. After another year passed, Issei was already 10. He continued training as always, he had no one to talk to, it was always the fight he had to survive, but Issei reached more Super Saiyan God phase transformation, like 2-3. I achieved that transformation when I was 11 years old. That transformation was achieved with great effort. It's been 4 years since I've been here. The truth is that I don't want the meat from here anymore, it's bad, but I have stamina. Every day, week and year I fight and every time they come they are stronger, but even so I didn't give up, I kept continuing with each training I became stronger. That's why I reached another transformation that I decided to call Super Saiyan Blue. Besides, I always told myself, without having to be angry and happy for those 2 demons, because without them they would not have sent me here, I would surely still be weak, I told myself. That transformation was also my greatest achievement, that I was able to awaken it just like in Super Saiyan Red. But this one was much stronger. It had been 5 years since he reached a new transformation. Such as Super Saiyan Blue 2. I was glad because there was no strong subject anymore, but he still attacked me at 100%, but he always won, but came out very badly injured. He also achieves a transformation that surpassed my 2 to Super Saiyan Blue. I called it Super Saiyan Blue 3. It reminds me of how I achieved my other transformation, but it wasn't really a transformation, it was a mental state that was very difficult to control. It was that your mind must be calm and your body will guide you. I called it Ultra Instinct. My last transformation was a bit strange because I got a monkey tail when I got to that transformation and my body also filled with hair and I looked more adult. But I'm not complaining, the result was wonderful. It was time for the portal to open, I just had to wait, but I didn't take long to wait because in front of me the portal opened, but for me it was the return home, although I always wondered which faction I could join, but I had already decided that was the faction of the angels. Back home again. Issei said happily that a tear came out, but Ivan never ever forgives that which was said to be his family, brother, friend, and that second demon, apparently he was never going to forgive her, and without further ado, he just approaches the portal and crosses it, only to see that he was in Cow City. Note. Issei Salt when he first raised in Cow Academy. But Issei does N''T help him for anything. Note. 2. No one feels the power of Issei because he continues to be human and he knows very well how to overcome his power. Note 3. There is a chapter that happens with a family and the heir Grimmery and Citri. Before Issei jump of this dimension, but nothing. This has been going on for 11 years. After the hyoudou family along with Rias and Sona left the hyoudou residence. They were happy because they were already thrown away from the trash. Finally that trash is gone now, said Rias with an arrogant smile. It's true, it's not here anymore, it's a cockroach, said Sona with the same smile as Rias. Rias is going to reincarnate me into a demon to make me stronger, Ikki said curiously. Of course Isai also wants to become a demon, said Rias curiously. Of course Rias, I would love it, said Issei, happy to be a demon. Congratulations son-daughter, you will finally have the ones you wanted so much, said Goro, happy for his children. Issei, Ikki, promise me that you will be strong. Not like that useless Issei, said Mickey with hatred for the latter, because he remembered the trash that he had given birth. Mom, I'm going to do better than that Inulil, I'm going to do better than my brother Ikki, I want to be like him and no one else, said Issei with confidence in his word. Yes, Mom, don't worry. I'm going to become the most powerful Sekiryuite in history, and not even the other gods will be able to defeat me, Ikki said with much more arrogance than on previous occasions. So 2 years passed in which they regretted throwing Issei into that dimension where no one came out alive, not even high-class devils or Mau, but the hyoudou family was devastated. Chestnut's mother regretted hitting her Della's son many times, leaving him on the brink of death, always together with her husband Della. Chestnut's father did not know what he was doing, he wanted to get his son out of that place that he had been told was worse than hell. Ikki's arrogance dropped because he remembered his brother who was dying there little by little, but he had hoped that his brother would survive that place. Issei cried every night because he remembered how it was with his brother of him always and was comforted by his mother of him, since both were to blame. Rias and Sona always blamed each other for sending that place to Chestnut that he is already dead, because she too knows very well that that place was a hell full of monsters and very powerful beings. When Rias asked her what that place was like, she answered the truth. Beings of bloodthirst, monsters, beasts and other things, and that scared the hyoudou families even more. Now they no longer had hope, they only cursed each other for that time. Present. Hello, how are you Ikki? Rias said with an elegant smile. Not good at all, because 11 years have passed and I don't know if my brother is still alive or dead. It's something I regret, besides I was his older brother, I had to defend him, not do that to him, Ikki said to himself. I'm so sorry, that was really my fault, you said sadly. No, we are all to blame for those days, said Issei with a small tear. No, Issei, that was really my fault. If I and Sona hadn't told him to mistreat him, he would be here with us, Rias said sadly, because it was true. She and Sona told him to mistreat him. And how is that commitment against raises coming to him? Ikki said a little sad because of the quarrels since this guy was quite arrogant, as he was in the past. It's just bad that they didn't give us 3 weeks to train, for that time we should be prepared, I think that will be my sin after all, Rias said to himself sadly because if he didn't win, he would have to get tired with Razor Phoenix, at that moment the call arrived last. Don't worry President, we're going to beat Razor, said Akeno, happy as always. You're right Akeno, we're going to win, just trust us, said Asa with a kind smile. But President, where are we going to train these weeks? Kiba said curiously. I have a house on a mountain, said Rias, happy because her room helped her. Ikki, do you have a younger brother apart from Issei, said Kaneko, but before that question the three of them tensed up. What does Kaneko say, where does she get that from her? She said, laughing nervously at the question. Because you can hear maybe he has a brother or something, said Kaneko. It's nothing important, Kaneko, you nervously must have heard wrong, Issei said slowly, but it was noticeable, her tone was sad. Now that Kaneko says it, I also heard them 2 days ago from a guy named Issei, Asia said thoughtfully. Now that I remember I do too, but I saw a photo that looked a lot like Ikki and Issei. Here is the photo, said Akeno taking the photo. Before that photo the three of them felt very tense, and Issei could only curse that Akeno found that photo that he had lost. He's nobody, he's just our cousin, said Issei, very nervous about that photo. Well, how about you get your things ready because tomorrow we're going out, said the Rias bitch, trying to change the subject, and it worked. We're not going to say goodbye anymore Asia, Issei and Ikki said at the same time. Goodbye Issei, Ikki and Asia, said Akeno with her current smile. Let's go Akeno, we have a lot to do, said Rias, calm now. Of course, Madam President, Akeno said, happy as always. So Kaneko and Kiba went home. It was already 12 o'clock at night. A magic circle came out. 3 people were Rias, Issei, and Ikki. They looked at the door and opened it. To see if their brother was alive or dead. Unfortunately, no one came out. So they left, confirming that Issei was dead. So they left. But if they had stayed a little longer, they could see that a black-haired man came out of that door. This was Issei. How many years have they passed? Issei said happily, even a tear of happiness came out because he finally got out of that hell that he had for so many years. Issei's power levels. Super Saiyan 1 2 3. This transformation can give skin to the Seraph, Frame, Mao at the same time, but if skin with every one of its stones with such ease. Transformation of Super Saiyan Red 1 2 3. This transformation can beat the 2 celestial dragons. But if he fought with the strongest dragon, he could only fight him, but not beat him. The transformation of Super Saiyan Blue 1 2 3. This transformation can fight Opus but not win, but it can leave her very badly injured. The most powerful transformations, the Ultra Instinct. He can beat Opus easily. But if he fights with Indra, Shiva and Opus, only leave them hurt but don't beat that 3. The transformation that can defeat Indra, Shiva and Opus with ease. I have a narrow pelt for a long time before I get pregnant. Stroke. Kamehameha. Heikin. Dinkadama. Kienza. Issei can use nature elements water, earth, air, fire, ice, electricity. Issei meeting Gabriel part a half. When he left he saw that they were there where they were thrown like garbage in that dimension. But he was happy because he could finally get out of that hell. When they were going to leave that forest he saw that his clothes were destroyed. He decided to fly so that no one would see them. That's how he left that forest at great speed. In a few minutes he could see a church. He went down to see if she would stay there that night. And when he entered he could feel a presence, but it was not bad, it was affectionate, kind, gentle, that filled them with curiosity, so he went to look for that presence and found it. She was a really beautiful girl with blue eyes that made you lose yourself in them, an enviable body for many women, and any man would kill to have her in bed. He decides to greet her because it seems she didn't notice him, but they were nervous because of the extremely hot woman. Issei. Hello, what do you call him, he said nervously. The girl turned around to see who would greet them. But she was a little surprised to see a boy with his clothes all destroyed, but he had a good body that every girl would want to have in bed. But she blushed a little at her thought of her. Hello, my name is Gabriel, she said it nervously. Issei. Gabriel is a very nice name, he said them smiling, blushing a little at the serif. Gabriel. And what does he call you, say to you? Calm down because the boy was not a bad person. Issei. My name is Issei. Gabriel. What a beautiful name, he said it smiling, making the black-haired boy blush a little. Issei. And who are you because you are not human? He said it to them in an absurd way. But Gabriel was surprised by this boy, he knows that she was not human. Gabriel. How do you know I'm not human? I said it a little seriously. Issei. Because I feel a calm aura, I said calmly. Gabriel. It's true, I am Gabriel, one of the 4 great seraphim, he said taking out his 12 white wings. Issei was surprised by such beauty. Issei. I see. Issei told them more calmly, they were thoughtful about whether to tell him that he would reborn them into an angel. Issei. Hey, can I join your faction? He said smiling. Gabriel was surprised because this boy was asking her to join the angel faction, but she wanted to ask him a very important question. Gabriel. But can I ask you a question? I said it seriously. Issei. Sure, if he asks me if I have a sacred gear I'll go to another faction, I thought. Gabriel. Because he wants to join the angel faction, because I have no problem to recover you, she said curiously. Issei. I always wanted to join the angel faction, I said it quietly because this girl didn't care if she had a sacred gear. Gabriel. He was lying on the ground, he said it while taking out a card from his robes. Issei did what Gabriel said. Gabriel used a card to reincarnate him, but it didn't work because the card came out upside down. Gabriel. This is what happened, she said confused because it was the first time it happened to her. Issei. What happened, Gabriel? In case he can't be reincarnated, he told them, head down. Gabriel. It seems that I have to use my Joker card, I was curious if it works. Gabriel takes out a card that shines a little and he put it on the black-haired man's chest so that it wouldn't come out anymore. Gabriel reincarnated them into an angel. Gabriel. I say, can you take out your wings? He said it kindly. Issei listened to him and he got 12 pairs of wings, but they were not white. They were rainbow color. Gabriel is very surprised by those wings since it was the first time he saw something like that and he gets excited that he decides to touch it since it was very beautiful that colors at Gabriel's sight. Issei blushes because Gabriel was hugging them where their wings are. Issei. Gabriel, could you please let me go, he said blushing. Gabriel. No, 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 I want your wings, they are very beautiful, he said with a smile. 15 minutes passed and Gabriel was able to control himself from hugging Issei anymore because his wings were unique among the angels reincarnated by the seraphim. Issei. Gabriel, because my wings are like the colors of the rainbow, he curiously said. Gabriel. I will N apostrophe T really be, but your wings are great, he said them with stars in his eyes. At that moment, Issei's stomach growls because he hasn't eaten yet, which made him turn red with embarrassment because Gabriel was watching them. Gabriel. I see that you haven't eaten yet, why don't you come with me to eat? Then tell me your story. I said it happily because Issei liked Gabriel. Issei. Okay, he said calmly. Then Gabriel opens a door to go to heaven to give Issei something to eat. And that he doesn't know in which Issei will eat everything because he hasn't tried food since he was 6 years old. So Gabriel calls his queen Grillcita Corda, but he sees a black-haired man who was next to his lady and with his clothes he all turned. Gabriel. Grillcita, I present to you Issei and in my new Joker, I said them smiling. But instead Grillsita heard her Della new Joker, that meant that her wife Della reincarnated them into an angel. Grillsita. Nice to meet you, I'm Grillsita the Fourth, I said it calmly, but inside I wanted to kill that black-haired guy because he's so destroyed with these clothes. Issei. Nice to meet you Grillsita, my name is Issei, he said smiling. Grillsita. Hey, sorry if I'm a party pooper, but could I change your clothes because the one you have is all destroyed? She said a little angry. Issei. You're right, I've had this since I was 6 years old, he said it a little embarrassed. But instead Grillsita and Gabriel were surprised because he had those clothes since he was a child. Gabriel. Issei, where were you all that time? Then he told them a little seriously. Issei. You were in a dimension that opens every 11 years, I was there when I was 6 years old, he told them sadly. Gabriel and Grillsita were stunned. They both knew that the dimension opened every 11 years and they knew that no one came out alive from there, even if they were a supernatural being. Gabriel. Issei, that's no joke, no one gets out alive. I call them stupid because I didn't know that the black-haired boy left that dimension when he was 6 years old. Issei. I'll tell you later how I got in. But you're going to give me a bath. I'm dirty. Gabriel just nods and tells Grillsita that he will guide him to a bath. Grillsita returns again to where her lady was. Grillsita. My lady, do you think that Issei should have been there since he was 6 years old? He said that he was not very converted. Gabriel. I do N''T know, but something tells me he's not lying, but who didn't have the heart to send her there at that age, and how she could survive, because he doesn't have a sacred gear, he said sadly how black-haired Ella had to survive. Grillsita is amazed and she respected black-haired for being able to survive that place that was worse than hell. Gabriel. Grillsita can prepare food and a lot of it because I imagine she only ate meat because there are N''T many living beings there, she said she hurts. Grillsita. Yes, my lady, your brother is going to tell you about Issei, he said they were curious. Gabriel. Of course he has to meet Issei so that he can get along, then I have a meeting with my brother. Grillsita didn't say anything and went to the kitchen to prepare dinner, but she ran into Marana, Gabriel's ace. Grillsita told Marana everything that they were surprised and helped Grillsita to cook quickly because she was curious who Issei was. An hour passed and the black-haired boy was taking a bath so relaxing that he hadn't had it for years. But he quickly left where he felt the presence of Gabriel and Grillsita and another one that he didn't know. So Issei knocks on the door and hears a pass, and blushing 3 girls were there because Issei was more handsome, the eyes of the third girl, but more Gabriel. Issei. Hello and sorry for the delay, you're so relaxing that I didn't want to go out, he said with a smile, making the girl blush more. Gabriel. Don't worry, we understand you, he said it with a smile, but with his blush. Issei. And who is she? He said pointing to where Marana was. Marana. Nice to meet you, I'm Marana, Gabriel's ace, he said introducing himself. Issei. Nice to meet you, I'm Issei, he said smiling. Gabriel. Issei, here is the food, you can eat it whenever you want, he said with a smile. But he doesn't know that Issei was dying of hunger. To his surprise, Issei ate like there was no tomorrow. Then Grillsita asks him something. Grillsita. Issei, you didn't eat there inside that dimension, she told him surprised how Ella Issei ate. Issei. Of course I ate, but only the meat that I fought with. Marana. Are you a carnivore? She said it a little scared. Issei. Of course not, I would kill a giant dog and eat it, it was the only one I could eat there, he said sadly. Marana birds that was hit by that question, it was more than obvious that he was the only one who could house there. Gabriel. Don't you dare say that Issei now, he doesn't have us, he said them while hugging them. Issei. Thank you Gabriel, he said it with a small blush. Grillsita. Issei, how could you defend yourself from that monster? She said it a little scared, although Issei didn't say there was a monster, but she did know there was a strong monster. Issei. I can transform into a Super Saiyan, he told them as he finished eating. That made the girl curious that he was a Super Saiyan, but Gabriel asked her the question that Ivan asks Marana. Gabriel. Issei, what is super, what thing? He said them innocently. Issei. You see, the Super Saiyan can give you amazing abilities, it can multiply your power, he said happily. That made him even more curious about what that was. Marana. Issei couldn't show that transformation, she expects Issei to say yes. Issei. Of course, I don't see any problem with it, he said smiling. Issei, but a part that doesn't feel my energy, the others as Domino or Full and I said them seriously. Gabriel. Don't worry about that, there is a place where no one can feel your energy, he told them smiling. But he doesn't know that he would get a big surprise. Meeting Gabriel Part 2 halves. Now we see the 4 great seraphim gathered together. Michael, the current leader of the angels, was meeting with his brother because Gabriel said he had to introduce him to his Joker. That left them surprised when they told him. Michael. Where is Gabriel, why is he taking so long? He told them calmly because they were still with the worst enemy in history, the paperwork. Be real. I don't know, but he didn't say that he didn't want to see everyone, he said it with boredom. Raphael. But who will be his Joker? I used to ask myself that question before too. Julio. I don't know, but let's wait for him to come, I'm already sleepy, he said it almost asleep. At that moment Gabriel, Grillsita and Marana entered. The four of them raised their heads to see Gabriel's Joker. Raphael. Sister, where is your Joker? He said to them, why don't you see them? Gabriel. I'll introduce him to you. He told them happily to see the reaction of his brother and sister. That's how Issei passes, surprised by the three men from the sailor. Raphael blushes because the boy was really handsome. Issei. Hello, how are you? My name is Issei, nice to meet you, he said it with a smile while drinking a juice. Michael. Nice to meet you, young Issei. I am Michael, the leader of the angels, he said with a smile. Uriel. Hello, how are you? You must be Gabriel's Joker, he said calmly. Raphael. Hello, I'm Raphael, one of the four great seraphim, he said introducing himself. Dulio. Hello, I'm Dulio, I'm Michael's Joker, he said smiling kindly. Gabriel. Now that we're all here. Issei couldn't. How did you get into that dimension? Before what Gabriel said surprised a lot of the salt flat. I couldn't believe that that boy got out of there because he knew what that place was, but what hell. Uriel. Sister, what did you say? Issei got out of there, he said very surprised, and if it were like that he would have his respect. Michael. That's true. Young Issei, he said surprised by the young Raphael. Sister, you should have that young man got out from there. Gabriel. If Issei left there this day when I was in a church in the human world, I told them calmly. Grillsita. Well Issei, I can now tell you how you entered that place. Issei. Well, but do not get upset when you hear please. The seraphim approved their heads. Hasty Issei tells everything to the seraphim. Dulio was surprised by the story. Issei was also upset by that thing called family and friend, and those two demons Michael and Uriel were more than surprised by the story of the black-haired man and furious about those two demons who made his life a hell, but they felt sorry for the black-haired man who suffered a lot for only 6 years and for not having a sacred gear. Gabriel, Marana, Raphael and Grillsita were crying for those who suffered. Issei was only 6 years old, they threw them like trash in that place, but Grillsita wanted to go where Arena Hyoudou was to punish him for mistreatment to Issei, but he uncovered them so they wouldn't do anything. He told him he didn't want to be ashamed, he was just going to show him that he was N''T weak. Gabriel, Issei sniff he has a good sniff heart for sniff he doesn't want revenge, he told them crying over Issei's story that he couldn't take it anymore and hugged them. Issei. Like I said, I'm not going to come, I'm just going to show him that I'm not weak. Raphael. Issei wouldn't show your transformations please, he told them curious. Before that question I also wanted to know what it was like in Super Saiyan. Issei. Of course, we're just going to a place where no one can feel my power. Gabriel. Can you show your wings to my brother and sister? Everyone was staring at them, including Miranda and Grillsita, since she doesn't know that he has black-haired wings. Issei. But you promised me that you won't hug me like last time, he said with a smile, making Gabriel blush. Gabriel. I promise you, he said them with a smile, but with his blush. Michael. Issei, who has your wings? He said them curiously, so Issei takes out his wings. Surprised, but that one wing was really beautiful. Gabriel. I couldn't, but again I hug Issei, as if it were a stuffed animal. Dulio, Marana and Grillsita. You wings are really beautiful. Issei. I told them, the three surprised by that wing colors. Michael, Uriel. It's true your wings are beautiful, but you have 12 wings. I told them. I was already calm, but a little surprised. Raphael. Issei, you wings are beautiful, but now I want to see your transformations. I can't hold it anymore, but my curiosity kills me, I told them calm. Issei. They know where we're going. I told them I was already hiding their wings, but I noticed something strange. I only felt there the energy of the seraphim and not of God, but if they were. Ivan asks me later. Michael. Are you okay? Follow me please. They all came out and went. Where is the door? I'm a little surprised by this and I ask. Gabriel, why are you in front of a door? I found them curious. Gabriel. This is the twin seal. Issei. Is a dimension that I believe, father, he said sadly at the end, but Issei realized, but he already had an idea because he did not feel the most powerful energy, he only felt the energy of the seraphim. Issei. I see, let's go in, and everyone agreed. When they entered they held hands and Issei asked why they held hands, and Gabriel replied that he should do it. Issei. Well. I'm going away a little to show you 3 Super Saiyan transformations. Everyone agreed like that. Is moved away from him as necessary. Issei rose to the sky, and everyone paid attention that they were going to show him. Issei. Here I go. Issei began to raise his power until his hair turned golden. That surprised everyone and more because of his power, but Issei began to raise his power again and was Issei. This is the Super Saiyan phase transformation too, and this he said them with a smile. Michael. It has more transformations, he said them in awe and fear at the same time, because Issei's power surpasses them. Gabriel is in awe of his Joker, but I'm surprised because Issei looks more handsome, but I start to fear every time because Issei is increasing his power rapidly. Dulio. His power is monstrous, I told them in awe. Michael and Uriel. I do an apostrophe T tell them anymore, but it's increased much more than before, I told them in awe and happy, because I was on their side, and I didn't know if I was on another side. Mirana and Grillsita had no words. What was Issei's training in that world? I told them I thought in awe and fear at the same time. Gabriel had no words now, he knew why his card didn't work just as a joke I could. Raphael was thinking about his sister if she was a lottery player or something like that, but I am very surprised. Then the golden light shines all over the place and everyone closes their eyes, and when they open them their mouths are on the ground. Issei. This is the transformation of Super Saiyan 3, he said it with a smile because of the look on everyone's face. Dulio, Michael, Uriel were with their eyes wide open and their mouths on the floor because of that overwhelming power. And that they remembered that Issei has more transformations, and that scared them more, and they were happy because they were on their side, and they didn't want them as an enemy. Mirana. Grillsita were more than terrified by such a demonstration of power. Now they believed him because of the hell that Issei had gone through. Raphael is surprised and terrified by Issei's overwhelming power. Without a doubt Issei was someone to fear, because that power surpassed the Seraphim, Cadre, Mao, and he asked himself if Issei could face everything at once. It was more than obvious that he could because Issei told him that he had more transformations. Gabriel, she was amazed. In exchange for the furthermore, she feels like Issei's power protected her. And English remained calm, but she is as red as a tomato because Issei looked more handsome than any woman he meets there. Issei. This is the transformation of Super Saiyan Phase 3, he said them smiling, seeing their broken ones of astonishment. Michael. Issei, this is one of your transformations, he said them already calm but with astonishment. Issei. Yes, they are one of 8 of my transformation, he said them, if it were not for the great importance. Uriel. Wait, Issei, you said one of your 8 transformations, he said them with fear. Issei. Of course, in total I have 11 transformations, and this is only 3 of my transformation, he said them calmly. That gave him a chill. They heard well, that is 3 of his transformations, and he did not imagine the 8 that was missing. Raphael. Issei was great, but what do you think he is doing with all that power? He told them seriously, and everything they paid attention, because if he used them for evil, Gabriel would have to untie them. Sister Issei would not do that if he wanted to destroy everything he had already done. Right, Issei, you would not do that, he said, using the most dangerous technique with the puppy eyes. Issei. As I said, I have no intentions to use my power for evil, but to protect my loved one, that is your Gabriel, he said, smiling and blushing at Gabriel, because Issei loves them, protects Michael. What is? Yes, we are already out, he said. Already calm down, because Issei was not that person with a bad heart, although many worse things happened to him. Even so, he had his good heart, although he wants to know the entire transformation of this, but he knew that they were tired, so they left. Only Michael, Gabriel and Issei stayed. Michael. Issei, would you like to become a seraph, he said calmly, but that surprised the two by that question. Issei. But if a seraphim, that for God's sake. Michael. You're right, in the war we suffered with a lot under me. Father has not recovered from everything, he told them, lying to the last ones, although he does not like to lie. Issei. But before he wants him to answer me a question, but I want him to answer me with the truth, he told them seriously. Before that Michael got tense. Gabriel. And what question are you going to ask my brother? Issei, he told them calmly. Issei. Because I do not feel the presence of God, and do not lie to me, because I only feel the most powerful seraphim, and I do not feel the most powerful in what is God really, he said them seriously. Before that the two seraphim were stunned, because Issei discovered them only not to feel the most powerful presence, and only felt the presence of the seraphim, and it was more logical than they thought about that, but he had to tell them the truth, because if he did not tell them they would go to the side of the fallen angels, and he did not want to have them as an enemy, because it would be a very big problem, and they too knew it. The revelation and family of Issei and training of the Gremory. Rias and her entourage were getting ready for Rias' raiding game to free her from her engagement by arranging, and they went to a mountain, because Rias has a house there to train. Well, as you already know, Rias is pampered and has a mansion. English. Rias. Okay boy, we have to train to come back very strong. Ikki. Okay President, I will become very strong to release that commitment that Yakitori has, he told them happily, to become strong again. Drag. Partner, remember to become strong, you never know when you will find them, he said them seriously. In Dragon. Tiamat. Change now, stupid dragon, he said them, foul with that dragon, and Drag stayed quiet so as not to answer him. Isai. Tiamat, remember that Drag is very proud, he told them calmly, but worried about his brother, because he found out who he has to fight with, a white emperor dragon, with his destined rival Akeno. Ara, why don't we go to Rest Asia? Yes, we go, that mountain was too big to climb. Kaneko. Let's go, she told them with her usual attitude. Rias. Okay, let's go in to relax in the hot springs, she told them, tired so she went to take a bath to relax better in the bathrooms. The boy was Kiba and Ikki. Kiba. Ikki, tell me the truth, do you have a brother apart from Issei? He told them, curious Ikki. What does Kiba say? Issei, he is my only sister, he told them nervously. Ikki. Why ask? He told them, more calm Kiba. He only said because he was curious because the photo that Akeno took was exactly like you. What Issei? Ikki. Because we are cousins, he said them nervously and sad. Kiba no longer said anything and withdrew from the hot spring water and leaving Ikki only with a he thought forgive me, and he told him sad because it was his fault his brother was dead. The girl's bath was all relaxed until Asia asked Issei something that made her very sad. Asia. Tell me Issei, what would happen if you had a younger brother? She told them curious until that question made Issei sad and laughed too. Issei. Would you protect them? Asia, she told them sad for her past mistake. Akeno. Issei, why are you sad? Maybe you really want a younger brother because the photo I found looked just like Ikki when they were little. Rias. What do you think if we do N''T go to sleep? It's not getting late and tomorrow we have to train. Rias and her entourage each went to their room, but Issei couldn't sleep because he misses his younger brother a lot because of him. He was dead. Issei, forgive me. Ago. The Grimoire group got up to go train. Kiba showed his sword skill to Ikki so he could learn. Akeno showed him. Asia uses magic Kaneko. Showed Ikki hand-to-hand fight and it turned out to be a perfect success. Rivers also handled his power of destruction, so 3 weeks of his hard training passed. Now Ikki could use his sacred gear. Issei also had a success with his sacred gear. Now he was ready for his renting game. Heaven. Michael explained everything to Issei about the truth because he didn't want to have him as an enemy. He knew if he had him as an enemy, heaven would fall by Issei's hand and the fallen angels would win the war with Issei's help. Now Gabriel was sad. He didn't know how Ivan was going to react to Issei. Now that he knows the truth, his heart was sad. If Issei wanted to leave his side she would understand, but her heart would hurt a lot. But on the other side, Issei was so surprised he couldn't believe it. Now he understood why he didn't feel the presence of God, because he is already resting in peace, but he has not joined the fallen angels because he promised himself that he would protect Gabriel. How much does it cost if it is his own life? But he says it came out of his thoughts because right now seeing Gabriel crying. Gabriel. Ice, if you want to go to the fallen angels faction I will understand you. Sniff, but please do not hold a grudge. Sniff, because of that secret, he said them crying. Michael. But it's your decision, we are not going to stop you, he said them because he wanted to get along with Issei. Issei. Calm down, I'm not going there to the fallen angels faction because I promised you Gabriel that I was going to protect you, that I am going to fulfill my promise because you saw me for who I am. Gabriel, he couldn't take it anymore and hugged him very tightly saying thank you for staying by my side. Michael. Then tell me if you accept Seraph. Issei. Okay, but I need a territory in the city of Kuo, he said it calmly. Michael. But you know that they're demon, that is what makes your life impossible. You laugh. Grimoire, Sona Citri, he said it seriously. Issei. Don't worry, these years have served me a lot because I could with my presence until I became a complete human, he said it calmly because it was true. Gabriel. If it is your decision so it will be. He will be living in the city of Kao, he said it smiling, because this will not leave his side. Issei. Gabriel, be careful with Griselda. I don't want her to go where Shido Arena is. I don't want her to find out yet. I will reveal it when necessary. Griselda could ruin my plans. Gabriel. Do N''T worry. Griselda will not go where is Shido Arena, although it makes me want to press her what she did to you, she said it a little upset by what Issei did to him when he was 6 years old. Just Michael. And when will you go to the city of Kao, he said calmly. Issei. I'm leaving for 3 weeks, this time I will stay here in heaven, he said calmly. Gabriel, to see what was happening on him, stays for 3 weeks. He was very happy, even if it was his Joker. Gabriel. Issei has a familiar, he said curiously. Issei. No, and what a familiar, he said. Really? So Gabriel imagines what a familiar is and that he can have one because now he is an angel. Issei accepted, so they went through a magic circle made by Gabriel and they were in such a beautiful landscape that it looked like a couple. Issei. Gabriel, what kind of family can I take, he said curiously. Gabriel. There are many elements like earth, water, air and fire, but he says that there is a legendary water type familiar and I know that it was shaped like a whale, but it was very powerful. He says that it was capable of defeating a dragon king like Tiamat or even more powerful, but he says that they are rumors because nobody has seen it. Well, that's what he says, finishing telling Issei. How would you like to find that family and what is its name and what kind of technique did he have, she said curious. Gabriel. I would also like to see it in person, but it's called Primal Kyogre, saying that its power was so destructive. What could cause such a strong tornado, she said a little scared. Gabriel. And I also heard that it could transform into a primordial form, the most powerful, and its strength would increase enormously, she said chills. Issei. Wow, how he tells it. It must be very powerful, but it's a shame that he couldn't find a familiar for me, since we have already traveled the route and we are not in front of a sea so large that it seems like an ocean when they already go. He could not finish. Why did the sea begin to tremble and raise a lot of waves? Gabriel. But what's happening? Why is it shaking, she said a little scared, but she saw something next to Issei, one giant blue whale like the water that left him with his eyes open because it was Primal Kyogre. Issei. It seems it was not a legend, and if it exists, he told them, astonished. Gabriel. And what are you going to do? Are you going to do it your family or what? He said them already calm because he was floating Issei. Of course Gabriel, I am going to make him my family, but if he wants I am not going to force him, so I did, and he left. Where was Primal Kaiger? Issei. Hey, do you want to be my family? Primal Kaiger Rauiaya translation. If he beats me I will be your family. Issei. Okay, I'll be right back. He told them to go where Gabriel is. Gabriel. Issei, what did he say to you? He said them curious. Issei. Yes, but if we have a battle, he said them happily. Gabriel was surprised because he was going to fight Kaiger, but he could beat him. Issei. Come on Gabriel, he said them smiling. Gabriel. Okay, let's go, he said it, taking out his 12 white wings. Issei. Kaiger, let's go deeper so as not to cause problems, he said a little seriously. Kaiger. Roaya translation. Okay, I'm fine. Okay, so I did, and Gabriel went further into the background. Issei was ready to fight. Issei. Ready, he said it seriously, but with a smile. Kaiger. Ruaya ready, and Gabriel took out a camera to see the whole fight and show it to his brother and sister. Issei received a very powerful water attack but was somewhat hurt and decided to transform into Super Saiyan. Issei went to give a very powerful blow that was received by the filler. Kaiger hit him with a very powerful fin. Issei and saw that Gabriel was not lying, but in a Kamehameha was red and Kaiger a powerful ray of water. This one sees that his own is coming back. You decide to transform into Super Saiyan 2, and it worked because the attack was being guided where Kaiger was this time. What attack was directed at him sank to the bottom of the sea. Issei that he was alert, but suddenly he saw something above, and it was a mass of water. Issei that transforms into Super Saiyan phase 3 to throw a tower of energy. Far away from there you could see Gabriel with his eyes like a saucer, and I was recording to show him that this is his brother. I asked him a question. Gabriel. And Issei, how powerful was he to fight Kaiger? Kaiger increases his power even more, and his body began to shine as he transformed into Primoria. Issei is more than surprised by the demonstration of Kaiger's power and decided to transform into Super Saiyan God phase. Issei. You are strong, you made me reach this transformation, he said agitatedly. Kaiger. Ruoya, you also made me reach this transformation, you are the first. Gabriel didn't know what to say, he walked with his eyes wide open in the fight portal and blushing. But I remembered that Issei had more transformations. Issei threw Kameha, Kaiger also sent back with a lot of water balls and a tornado. But Kaiger didn't realize that Issei was no longer there, and he charged a powerful thunder in the sky that made Kaiger take a lot of damage because he was a water type, but he began to increase his power more, his body he began to shine. Issei had what he did, he couldn't understand, he was surprised and decided to respond in the same way. He began to increase his power until his transformation into a Super Saiyan Red God phase 2 arrived. Gabriel did not know what to say. He is more than surprised by the transformations of those two, but his heart was beating very fast. Gabriel. Maybe I fell in love with Issei, he said blushing, but he saw that Kaiger's body fell very quickly, but he transformed Issei. Finally we finished this battle, he said, very tired and exhausted. Kaiger. Ruoya, he's right, he said them just like weak Issei. You want to be my family, I'm not going to force you, but the fight, he said them with a smile. Kaiger. Ruoya, it's okay, I'll be your family, but I realized that you didn't use all your power. He's right, but you're very strong. Gabriel. Ice, what happened? Will it be your family, yes or no? He curious said Issei. Yes, now we will be friends. He said them with a smile, so Issei made Kaiger his family, and he gave him a necklace to communicate with Issei, and Gabriel returned to heaven to rest more for Issei. That was the third week of Issei. Ria's Grimory's raiding game. Ria's and her entourage were ready to fight against Phoenix Graphia Raises. Ria's is ready for the raiding game, and Mr. Surzich's will also see the raiding game, she told them seriously as always. Ria's. My brother thinks we'll see the raiding game, she told them a little surprised. Graphia received a magic circle in her ear, and she just agreed. Graphia. Ria's everything is ready for the raiding game, it will be a copy of the Cow Academy, she told them seriously, and Ria's agreed in confirmation. Isai. Ria's do an apostrophe to be nervous, we're going to win, that's why we train very hard, she told them with confidence in her word. Ikki. It's true Ria's, I'm going to free myself from that commitment and I'm going to make them win this raiding gamer, she said them also sure of her word. Akeno. You're right Isai and Ikki, president, we're going to win, she said them with a smile. Kiba. Presidents just trust in we Kaneko. It seems that it's time, she said seriously as always. Asia. But I see that we are in the same place as before, she said confused. Ria's. Look outside and you will see the sky, this is a copy of the Razor Academy is confident of winning, so they went out to look at the sky, and it was true, this was a copy of the Academy. Ria's. It's time Ikki and Kaneki, you will go to the gym, and Akeno will destroy when Kiba and Isai come out, you will set traps around Asia, stay with me, just in case I don't attack, so like that they agreed at Ria's side. Ikki and Kaneko went to the gym and found 2 pawns and a tower. Razor tower. Come out, we know that it is hidden there, she said it smiling. Ikki. Kaneko, what do we do, she said it seriously. Kaneko. As she said, you already know that we are here, come out, we go out to fight you, so come out of your hiding place PAWN1. They are out, she said it smiling PAWN2. So we are going to do them, kill quickly, he said, taking out a chainsaw. Kaneko. Ikki, you take care of the pawns, I'll take care of the tower, and Ikki nods and left fighting with the pawns, so Ikki and Kaneko fight against it and leave them hurt. Rias. Ikki hears me, said Rias on the other side of the communication. Ikki, if you Rias, what's going on, she said seriously. Akeno. She's ready to attack, so get out of there. Ikki and Kaneko just agreed, so Ikki saw the entire gym was destroyed by an attack from Akeno, who was surprised by that power. Kaneko. He knows her as the priestess of lightning, she said while walking away where she found Ikki, and he just nods. When he was going to see Kaneko, she comes out exploding because of the Queen of Razor. He quickly goes to where Kaneko is all hurt. Kaneki. I'm so sorry Ikki, I circa and apostrophe T keep my promise with Rias, please win, she said it disappearing. Rias, hearing what it means to eliminate Acid Tower, was worried a lot since he only had 5 pieces left. Ikki. I promise you with Kaneko I will win this battle, he said, seeing how she disappeared when he was going to attack the queen. The king Akeno got in the way, half said that she Ivan comes Kaneko. Ikki keep running, but he was pulled because Kiba and had a little talk. Issei and Kiba, because there are no more, you have taken care of 4 pieces, but Rias gave new orders that she was going to attack Razor with Asia, so Kiba, Ikki and Issei went to fight with the missing piece that their president and made them fight against Razes, but Rias and Asia saw Razes waiting for her on the stairs above, but Rias attacked with can of destruction. Ikki saw how Rias and Asia flew to the ceiling along with Razes, but he heard how Akeno was eliminated by the Queen of Rays. If that were not enough, he heard that Kiba and Issei weren't eliminated by the Queen the Rays, but luckily eliminated the entire piece including his sister Ikki. To quickly, where are Rias and Asia, since they were weakened and Razes like new thanks to their immortality, and the Queen of Razes threw a powerful magic attack but was covered by a shield by Rias, and this time that the Queen and the King had their guard down, quickly throws the powerful magic power of destruction and was eliminated and leaving only Razes, and this seeing that his queen was eliminated does not matter much to him since he can only eliminate it. Clear as it is arrogance, he was eliminated. Powerful dragon shot a Raze straight to the head because he had his guard down. Rias Germany wins this rating games. Rias was crying with happiness because she was finally able to break that arranged engagement, and thank you Supice for helping her beat him. An unexpected reunion part 1/3. This was sitting on such a beautiful river. Issei. How much time has passed, I always want to do this, but thank God that day I found Gabriel at the church, she said with a smile, and next to him there was a guitar. Issei. I think I'm going to play, she said with a smile, and she picked up the guitar, but she didn't realize that Gabriel was behind him. Gabriel. Does he know how to sing, she said a little enthusiastically. Issei started to play the guitar and began to sing. But Gabriel, she had a small tear for that song of Issei and Thick Walks where he and hugs them tightly. With Issei he feels that he hugs them and looks at who it was, and it was Gabriel, and he had a small tear and asks Issei. Gabriel, what happened to you? Because he has a tear. Someone did something to you, he said, worried about the woman he secretly loves. Gabriel. Calm down. Sniff. Nobody. Did sniff hurt. And that. I heard. Your. Sniff song. And. It made me. Cry, he said. Crying stops because Ice hugs them, so he doesn't cry anymore. Issei. Thank you for listening to that music, he said with a smile, while wiping away the tears and a blushing Gabriel, because Issei was wiping away her tears, although inside she wanted them. Issei. Gabriel. Why were you here? He said it curiously. Gabriel was a little calmer and replied. Gabriel. That's it. Ready for me to live in Cow, she told them calmly, but inside she is angry because they are going to meet her ex-family again. Issei. I see, then I will start to get everything ready to leave today, she said them smiling. Gabriel. By the way, my brother wrote you a Cow Academy, she told them calmly. Issei. I see, better to finish my studies, she said them calmly without one day meeting that would make her life hell. Gabriel. And how are you doing with Kaiger, she said them curiously. Issei. We do and apostrophe T get along very well, in fact there is its chibi form, she said them pointing to rivers. Gabriel. See, in river he saw a small blue whale with a red stripe. Gabriel. It is very nice to do, he said them with a smile. Issei. Hey, what did you do with that recording, he said them curious since he realized that Gabriel recorded the fight. Gabriel. I showed them to my brother and they were impressed by your family since they thought it was a lie, but his mouth shut because of the video and his transformations, he said them with a star in his eyes. Issei. I see, hey, when you will enter the academy, he said them calmly. When Gabriel was going to answer Issei's question, a voice was heard. Michael. Tomorrow he will enter the academy. Today he can fix everything at your house, he told them with a smile, but he saw that there was a whale and his eyes opened wide, even although he has already seen them on video, but having it in front of your eyes is something incredible. Michael. Wow, but if it is Primal Kaiger, it is a living legend, he told them in amazement. Issei. What can I tell you, I'm special, he said with a smile. Michael. Hey, that's one of your red transformations, he said, curious, and Gabriel also. Ivan asks him, but his brother beat him. Issei. That's right, I call it Super Saiyan Red God phase, he said calmly. That brought curiosity because he said Red God. Gabriel. Issei, why does saying Red God make you God with that transformation, he said curious, and Michael too. Issei. Can you say that because no one can feel my presence, or maybe you can feel it, he said smiling because Gabriel had like silver eyes, because it was true since the fight, Gabriel could never feel the presence of this, and Michael is also surprised. He did not know how much surprised this boy had, but he was relieved that he is his ally, not as an enemy, because he knew that Nile Foremouse of the underworld and the cadre were not going to beat him. Gabriel. You're right, she said, them still surprised. What Issei, said Michael. Well, Issei, here is your key so you can go to your new house, and please be careful with the demons. I don't want to get into trouble. I trust you, she said them seriously. Issei. Michael, now I want him to feel my presence, she said them with a smile. Michael and Gabriel wanted to feel Issei's presence, but they didn't feel that it was as if he was a normal human, and this surprised him quite a bit. Gabriel. But how can Issei do that, she told them, surprised Issei. When more than 100 monsters want to kill you, they have to have the power of your presence or else they will kill you, she told them, a little sad since it was true. Michael and Gabriel only gave her a look of understanding because Issei was telling the truth. Michael. But now you're with us, now we can make your new brother, because now he was a seraph like us, she said them smiling. Issei. Brace, she Dexia with a smile, and a treacherous tear came out in the eyes, but Gabriel wiped it. Gabriel. Do not cry because you told me I want to live in the future and present, no longer remember the past. I know you had a hard and ugly childhood, but you never gave up and moved on, and that's why I admire you more than anyone, and that's why I love you. The last one said it in a whisper, but Michael and Issei did hear it. Michael is more surprised because it was the first time his sister showed me that feeling, but he was happy because he finally found someone I truly loved her. Issei, on the other hand, was happy because Gabriella loved him more. But yes, I'm going to ask for a date another day or something like that. Issei. I better go get my thing ready, we'll see each other later, he said them smiling and disappearing. Michael. Little sister, do you like Issei, he told them, already knowing the answer, but he wanted to confirm it again. On the other hand, Gabriel was as red as a tomato because his brother seems to hear him. Gabriel. But what? Say. Brother, she said, blushing. Michael. It's because I heard that you love them, she said them with a smile. Gabriel. It's true, when I saw them for the first time something in me woke up and I wanted them to be by my side, she said them with a smile. Gabriel. But I don't know if he's true something for me, she said them, a little dejected. Michael. Don't doubt it, sister. I think that Issei loves you too, she said them smiling. Gabriel. Do you believe that, brother, she said them with a smile. Michael. Of course, now that you'll allow me, I have to go do the paperwork, she said them crying comically. Gabriel just stayed thinking. Gabriel. You really love me, she said them with hope. With Issei, when he left, where was Gabriel and Michelle? He went to his house in heaven because he had many things to fix, but he was so happy that he heard that Gabriel loved him, that made them feel happy. Issei. Very soon they will tell you too that I love you with everything my being, and we will have a lot of dates, he said with a smile. In another part of the city cow, we see that there are 3 people, one that is on a throne of 2 was kneeling. Everything is ready as we planned, he said with a malicious smile. Of course, my lord, only the Excalibur is missing, an old man of the 3rd age said. Yes, but they already sent 2 girls from the church, and it seems that in heaven, they don't find out yet. Another subject that had priest clothes said. Great, everything goes as planned, and we have to kill the heiress of the Gremory and Citri clans to start the war, he said with a malicious smile. Of course, Kakabiel, the 2 subjects said at the same time in Cow's care in the club room of Oscultimo. We will see everyone celebrating for the victory they had with the Phoenix Rias. Thank you, Ikki, for winning, he said, crying from the happiness. Ikki? It's nothing, I told him he would win Rias, he said them with a smile. Issei. Brother, you are the best, he said them, also smiling. Kiba. It's true, Ikki, you destroyed almost the entire razor piece, he said them happily for his friend's progress. Asia. Thank you, Ikki, for helping us at that moment, he said them. English. Happy Akeno. It's true, thank you, Ikki, and sorry if I wasn't very helpful because you eliminated me, I told them, a little sad. Kaneko. Thank you, Ikki, yes, I kept my promise, I said them with a smile because she was the first to be eliminated. Ikki. It's nothing, I said them, embarrassed because I was praising them a lot. Rias. Leaving that aside, I said them a little seriously. Ikki. What happened, Rias? I said them a little seriously. Rias. I feel like tomorrow is going to be a special day, I told them seriously, but something about her is happy. Issei. You feel that too, Rias? And everyone looks at them. Rias. Maybe you too, Issei, she said it, a little surprised. Ikki. Me too, I feel that something is going to happen, but at the same time I feel happy. I don't know why she said it seriously but somewhat confused. Akeno. Maybe it is that you are exhausted, you have to go rest. Ikki. I think you are right, Issei. Let's go home, Ikki, she said it calmly, so each one went to their house. Rias, Ikki. Issei and with Asia they arrived at the hyoudou residence. When they entered they saw 2 chestnuts and a chestnut. Ikki. Hello, Dad and Mom, she said it smiling. MP. Hello son, it seems that you won Dexia, them smiling Rias. SK, all thanks to Ikki dad. I see he is already growing, but how I would like to see you grow him too, he said sadly with his wife Asia. Who he, she said, already curious mom. It is not at all small Asia, so each one went to sleep. Their room outside the abandoned church, could there be two hooded? Wow, there is a disaster here, a blue-haired guy said them. He says there was a fight between a demon and fallen Angelia, a two-haired girl said them. Well, let's rest here, Irina, the blue-haired girl said them. Irina. You're right, Zenobia, and I hope he's here to forgive me, Issei, she said them sadly. Zenobia. Let's go to sleep. End of chapter 1. Hope you like it. An unexpected reunion part 2/3. Ice went to his new home in the human world to begin his life as it should have been when he was just a 6-year-old boy. Issei, well, it seems that I have to go to sleep because tomorrow will be a long day. Hopefully I did not find any of that demon. The Dexia, calm down Kyager. Ruo, calm down Issei, everything will be fine Issei. You're right Kyager, the Dexia smiling Issei. Well, I'm going to get ready to go to the academy, so Issei went ready to go to the academy. Halfway there he saw the academy and felt a lot of the demon's presence, that something strange because he also felt two sacred aura, and he saw the black-haired girl, one with short hair and violet eye, and quickly recognized her. That was Sona Citri, the heiress of the Citri clan, but well, two-hooded one. He also recognized her orange red violet hair. Mr. Irina, cool, that I also made his life impossible when he was a child, and they saw that he had a little conversation and went to the hood. Issei stepped forward of the two black-haired girls, but they only kept looking at her more. Sona kept looking at her because her face seemed familiar to her. Sona stops her and the black-haired girl with glasses kept looking at her. President, your student council. Sona. Excuse me, who are you? I barely see you today. Are you new? Asked the president of the student council. Issei. Like that I'm new, I just entered this academy today. I hope you help me, the black-haired girl asked kindly, although inside I wanted to see her, not even in her dreams and nightmares. Tsubaki. It's okay, please follow me, your class is 2B, she said them seriously. Issei. Can I ask you a question? Sona. It's okay, tell me your question. Yes, I can answer it, she said them seriously. Issei. Just in case you know Issei hyoudou, she said them calmly. Before that area paralyzed. No, she didn't know why that boy asked Issei. Perhaps he knew who he was, but the black-haired girl was surprised because the last name hyoudou was Issei and Ikki. Maybe those two had a younger brother that nobody knew about, but the brunette gave her president and she was paralyzed. Maybe she knew who that Issei Sona was. D. What are you talking about? I don't know Issei, yet she told them nervously because she didn't expect this question. Issei. You see Gracia, even though inside she doesn't care about that question because she already expected it. Sona. Maybe you know them because that last name is Isai and Ikki, she said them seriously, although inside she was nervous. Issei. Not at all, he was just a childhood friend because they always told me that his father was so cruel and that he always hid him along with his brother and a certain Ria's Gremory, but well, if I don't know who you are I appreciate it, but don't worry Tsubaki, I know the school well, thank you for your kindness, she said them walking calmly, but inside she was smiling at the face of that two demon pair more. And Sona, that is pale. Tsubaki was surprised if Ikki and Isai really had a younger brother named Issei, because he always hid him along with his family, and that he was his childhood friend, and also named the heiress of the Gremory clan, and if it will be true. On the other hand, with Sona, she was scared this she had to tell Rias together, two hyoudou brothers, what a boy comes out of nowhere, and they ask her if she knew Issei. That left her very scared. Those thoughts come out because Tsubaki was calling her Tsubaki. P president because she is pale by naming that name. Do you know Issei? She told them seriously. Sona. What are you talking about Tsubaki? I do and apostrophe T know anyone with that name, and much less that Issei, she told them seriously, but she didn't know how they were going to take it. Tsubaki in her room when she finds out the truth of when she was a child with Rias in her room. Sona. Let's go, we are late to go to class, she told them seriously with Issei. He was smiling at what he just said, now they are now a queen's piece. He was doubting his king. Issei. This you should see my class, he told me while knocking on the door, and the door opens. He notes the teacher, but he only hands her the sheet, and it is that he understands that this boy is new, so he entered his class again to tell him that there is a new student, and when they heard that, the girl got excited because she could see another new boy, and the boy wanted it to be a pretty girl, but hopes fell because the new student passed by. Issei. Hello, nice to meet you, I don't want to say my name, he said them calmly. He looked at everything confused because he didn't want to say his name, but for a boy and a girl lying down looking at the black-haired boy because she looks a lot like his deceased dead brother. Girl. Why don't you want to say your name, she told them confused. Boy. Or maybe you don't have a name, the boy said it confused. Issei. Well, if you want to be my name, nice to meet you, I'm Issei. Before that name Ikki separated abruptly because that name was his brother who becomes dead, but what if that was his brother? He had him face to face, but Issei also stood up abruptly, perhaps her brother was still alive and had her face to face, and if it were so she was happy. Because her brother was still alive and not dead as she thought, but she did not know how he was going to react to what she had done to him when he was just a child. Issei. Brother, it's really you, he said it with tears in his eyes. Everyone was staring at them, even it's Issei himself, but he would be going crazy if he didn't know her ikki, English. Brother, is you, he said with tears. Before Insalo a thought came to him, perhaps the new student brother hyoudou even is himself a teacher. Asked himself that question. Issei. I'm sorry, but you know him, he said, pretending curiosity. Isai. Issei, do not play dumb, you are my brother ikki. Yes, you are our brother Issei. Hyoudou. Issei. You were Issei's brothers because I am his childhood friend, because he always told me about you, what made you his own father. Let me tell you that you disappoint me, he told them, a little angry. Isai. So you're not a new brother, she told them. Heard Issei. That's right, it's me, not your brother, she told them. Calm down. Then the bell rang, but they were surprised because the introduction of the new student was very long and they didn't notice because you were listening attentively to that conversation of the hyoudou. Ohasi. They left and Is went to the roof so that no one would bother him because the girl wanted to ask him to be her boyfriend even if she had a date, but he had eyes for a girl. That was Gabriel. Inside the occultism club you could see Rias sitting at her desk, but Sona ikki comes in. Isai. Rias. Boy, what's wrong? Because he came with a serious look, he told them, a little scared as he looked at her. Ikki. Rias, my brother Issei is still alive, he told them seriously, but inside he was happy. Even if he didn't tell him that he was his brother, he knew it well because he had seen the black-haired man's face and saw a scar that he made, and that is why he confirmed that he was his brother. At that, Rias, Sona and Issei were surprised, but more the last one. Why is the black one told me that he was not his brother, and if Ikki told the truth they were very upset. Rias, I did not know what to do. On the one hand, she is happy that he was still alive, but they were also surprised how could she survive, because she along with Ikki and Issei, no one came out in the door. Sona was surprised. A black-haired man names Issei out of nowhere, and Ikki says that his brother was alive. Perhaps that black-haired man was Issei, so I tell everything to Rias. Rias. We have to ask him to come to the club right now before that meeting of the church invitation. Isai. I'm going for my brother, she said happily, thinking, what does she say? Would I forgive her? Rias. No, Kaneko. It was because of him. If you do N''T want to come, she said it seriously, and if Issei could survive then she had to be strong, and she thought about adding them to her entourage, and she was N''T the only one, because Sona is also thinking about them, in that she opens the door shown in Ria's entourage next to Sona's room. Akeno. Ara, why so serious? Rias. Kaneko wants me to bring the new student now, she told them seriously. Kaneko just nods to see the new student. Tsubaki. What happened to the new student? She told them. Curious, Kaneko was heading where she felt the presence of the new student, but she asks herself a question, why she wants to see him. Student, do I have a sacred gear? Kaneko seeing a black-haired man, and he approaches Kaneko. Hey you, my president wants to see you, she told them seriously. Issei. And if I don't want to go, what will happen to me? He told them without turning around to see her. Kaneko. I feel them, but I have orders to take them away, and if they don't come, I will do it by force, Issei said seriously. Do you think I can win? But this time let's go. I don't want to kill you, Issei said calmly, but Kaneko gave him the shivers. Javi. Issei feels the precession of never of the never who wants to see him. Issei. What do you want? He said them coldly. Rias. Issei, are you really you? He said them with a blush. Issei. I think you are in accordance with menstruation hair. That comment made her very angry. Rias. Why do you call me that? She said them annoyed just like her entourage. Issei. See, let me laugh. I already laughed because you and that thing that is called family have thrown me like trash. That place, she said it annoyed, and you laugh and sound. Ikki and Issei lowered their heads like this. What is your name? She told them a little annoyed. Issei. My name is Issei. That surprised the Gremory group because that name she always named when she hears the Akeno. And what are you for? Ikki and Issei. Issei. I am none of that, she said them with cold words. Issei. Brother, don't say that I missed you, she said them with tears. Ikki. Issei, we do not regret you through that place. Rias. And for the cooperation that forgives us, I will let you join my clan, she said with a confident smile. Sona. He will join my clan so that I forgive you. Issei. Not even dead will you join me to your Gremory, and not yours ironing board. That comment would anger his entourage and blonde hair. Speak Saji. Hey idiot, why are you talking to Sona like that? He told them annoyed. Issei. You know I'm not going to talk to Basira in front of me. Issei. Issei, our father will be happy to see you. Please let's go home and be a family, he said them with hope, but Is destroyed it completely. Issei. Family, that's your family. With I have no family, they died for me. Issei. I'm not going to talk to you anymore with you Gremory and Citri and the Hyoudou brothers. Ikki. Brother, please come back. Issei. If you tell me once, brother, I'll kill you. At that moment the envoy of the church enters, and Arena, once in red hair, recognized them immediately. Arena. Issei, perhaps you are Zenobia. It's already here, heiress of the Gremory, but everyone saw Ice, who had a magic circle that was of the angels. An unexpected reunion. Part 3/3 and fight with a cadre. To this day Issei is fine with that magic circle that belongs to the angels. Rias. Issei, you are all with the angels, she told them furiously because she can no longer re-enchant him and change. Issei ignored them completely, but they were listening to Gabriel's band, who was telling him everything that happened in the medical circle. Disappeared. Issei. You are sent from the church, right? She told them calmly. Zenobia, do that, and how do you do it? She said them seriously. Issei. Because I am with the angels. He said them calmly. Rias. And why don't you answer my question? He said them since Issei did N''T pay attention to what Rias said. Issei. What do you call you? They said them looking at the blue-haired Rias, more than ignored, her aura rises. Rias. I'm asking you a question and you're not answering me. This is not ignoring me. I know what I did to you in the past, and I apologize for that. I want to make up for my past mistake together with your brother and Sona. Zenobia. My name is Zenobia Wednesday. Issei. You who are for girl Sita. I found them curious, completely ignoring Ria's aura. Me anything. Issei. You are with us. Hyoudou. I found them serious, and a fury only below the head signals sadness. Issei. You must already understand that 3 frames of the sword's Excalibur were to be true. Zenobia. It is now stolen. Issei, and why are you not looking for the sword? Zenobia. We must turn it to this demon who does not interfere in another matter of the church. Rias. This is my territory. Issei. And if you keep quiet about one damn time your voice irritates me, I leave you silent and laughing, because it's not even Issei who I once knew when I was little, and with Sona and her ex-brother. Issei. I'll come, as you already know. I'll come to get her back sacred sword, so we'll be here. Sona. Okay. Issei. She said them seriously. Issei. I don't care. Kiba. I want to fight with her over there. She said them aiming at the blue-haired girl. Kiba. I'm going to destroy all the sacred swords. Issei. Do whatever you want, but if she kills you don't come crying to me. Your king. Rias. Kiba forbade you to fight with that exorcist over there. She told them seriously, but Kiba didn't listen to her, and they fought like the anime happened, so I won't be able to fight anything. Issei. How weak. Zenobia. It was fast superior. She told them seriously. Issei. Let's go to my house there. Eat. Let's go. She told them, and the exorcist Ikki. Brother, come home. Our father. He could N''T finished because a thunder passed next to his face. Issei. I think I was N''T clear that I'm not your brother. She told them with cold isai. Forgive me brother, I know it's selfish, but we are already sorry for throwing away that dimension, she said them crying. Issei. I don't care about your tears, I don't care if they are true or false. Sona. Why does he treat her like that? The black-haired man told them angrily, but she ignored her completely and left with the second envoy from the church, but Irina wanted to talk to him. Akeno. Isai, why did you say that he threw them in a dimension? Rias. It's nothing important. Akeno, already leave her alone together with Ikki. Kaneko. Kiba, where are you? Kiba. I'm going to destroy the sacred sword. Asia. But it's very dangerous. Akeno. Asia is right. Kiba. I do N''T care. Kiba left completely ignoring the word of Rias Tsubaki to say because he doesn't want to get along with his brother, but then he remembers the word of the black-haired boy, and now he understood everything. The black-haired boy was mistreated by Rias Gremory and his 2 brothers who is called the Ikki family. Issei and Rias in Asia. Arrive at the residence and will lend him all his father. What happened to him in the scouting club? He is crying with happiness because Issei was still alive, but he said that she didn't want anything. Was sad. She wanted Issei to return to her side, but he said no, but she would find a way for him to come back. She is with him with Issei when they arrived, and food was prepared for him because they saw that he didn't eat anything, so they spent 3 days looking for him. A fragment of the Excalibur sword that was stolen by a leader of the fallen angels, Gabriel. And one day she showed up in front of the Rias Gremory Sona Citri estate to declare war on him, but Irina was seriously injured that Zenobia had to take her to Issei's house to get better, and she went back to where she was there waiting for him, but the Gremory group came out to tell them everything that happened to her. To find Irina all damaged mind. Ikki wanted to talk to his brother, but she doesn't pay attention to him for a moment. Issei also wanted to talk to his brother, but it was the same with his brother. Ikki didn't pay the slightest attention to him. That makes him sad to the point of crying, but Issei doesn't care about his tear, and he will use the letter that his father is worried about him, but it doesn't matter in the slightest, since they made their lives a hell. The cow. The academy was being surrounded by a barrier by the Citri clan, and the Gremory clan faced Gabriel. They are. Rias, call your brother so he doesn't help. Rias. And why don't you call your sister? Akeno. Don't worry, I already contacted your brother Ria, and he said that we have an hour. Rias. Well then we have to wait an hour. So they entered the barrier, and he looked good sitting on a giant throne, and with an arrogant smile. Rias. Now for this fallen angel, he would say them Gabriel. This just he thinks the great grimoire, and tell me who is going to come, your brother or Serapho? Rias. We defeat you, making Gabriel smile like a maniac. Gabriel shows a bit of his power and destroys the gym, and Ikki looked amazed. Ikki. With a small spear he destroyed the entire gym. This demonstration of power is going to be a bit scary. Drake. What did you expect, partner? That guy survives the great war against the 4 great supreme demon and God himself. Tiamat. Has to fight with everyone or else die. Issei. Is right, Tiamat, but with a bored head, and summoned Severus, the guardian dogs of the underworld, but they saw that if they killed one, more appeared, and one had attacked, so that she screamed when Severus was going to eat them. The sword came out to his entire body, and they all looked at Kiba, and then they looked at what 3 Severus fell by the hand of your Zenobia and Issei. Although I do not like it admitted I need your help, you help Issei. I do not think the same Gremory, he said them coldly, and she could only lower her head in sadness. Gabriel. But what do we have here, an exorcist, but have more fun with my dog, so more than 20 dogs came out, all saw that with fear. Issei. You think you are the beginning with surprise, I also have one, so why not look at my family. Gabriel. Haha, your family is going to fight. Haha, don't make me laugh, they are very weak. I hope your word brings you. Gabriel. And all they were left to do was see, he really plans to bring his family with only 20 Severo. Issei. I summoned you, primal Kyogre. When I heard the name of Issei's relative, I couldn't believe it. Maybe he really was a legendary water-type beast, and how about Artura as a celestial dragon or even more powerful? But everyone looked like nothing was happening, and Gabriel started laughing. Gabriel. Hahaha, don't make me laugh, that's a legend, but yes sir, it couldn't finish because there was a small earthquake and a very powerful aura. Issei. What were they going to say, Gabriel, he said smiling. And a large amount of water came out and you could see a blue whale with red stripes. And everything had eyes like silver and mouth to the ground because there was primal Kyogre and a living legend. Issei. Kyogre in charge of the severe, I take care of. Gabriel. Hasty Kyogre quickly attacked 3 severe and killed him quickly and thus finishing 20 Severo very fast. Gabriel had the house silver, what, that beast was a myth at damn half, but it was real life. Issei. You can go now partner, I'll take care of everything. Kyogre sen were like he came, Ria didn't know what to say, there was that monster and that it had a destructive force. Gabriel revealed that it could not be told to anyone because it will be a great secret between the 3 great factions. Issei. Gabriel, that was a secret between the 3 great factions. Gabriel. But I am treated a war one, do not have to hide anything. Issei's. Then get ready. Issei began to raise his power, that his hair began to rise and change from a black tone to a golden one, and his eyes also changed to an emerald. Nobody said anything, poured a demonstration of power. Laugh now. Yes, she will regret throwing Issei like garbage into that dimension, and she had that power, but something in her told her that that was not all of his power and that he still needed much more, and they were scared with their entourage. Gabriel did not know what to say, he was afraid of that power that increases much more every second, that past a golden light baited everything, but everything had its mouth on the ground and its eyes were white, including Gabriel. Issei. This is the transformation of Super Saiyan Phase 3, he said it seriously. Underworld searches. Who is this power from, he told them, scared because that power surpassed them by far. Cielo. Gabriel. Brother, why Issei transforms into Super Saiyan Phase 3, he said it well in a crystal sphere. Michael. Not the beings, but he is upset with Gabriel. Grigori Azazel. Who is this power from, what I feel in academic cow penemu. Not the beings Azazel, but that power could not win, he said it would be back from the academy. Rias, along with her peace, was afraid of Issei, could not believe that he had that much power. Sona was also afraid, wished for power and her entourage because the barrier was destroyed by Issei's energy. Issei. What's wrong, Gabriel? The mouse ate your tongue, he said it with a smile. Gabriel did not say anything, he was shaking with fear. Portal show of power, now he knew that Issei was superior to him. Issei to finish this as soon as possible. As fast as possible, he punches Gabriel 3 times in the face and 5 times in the stomach. What did he do? He spat out a lot of blood, leaving him very conscious, and then looks at the sky and says, Issei. Why doesn't the White Dragon Emperor come out? Before that. Look at the sky to see everything, see a white armor and blue wings. Armor. Wow, you're strong, I hope you won't face one day. The bitterness takes Gabriel and the renegade exorcist away, but not before. A small conversation between the 2 celestial dragons. Just like the anime. Issei. Come closer, Zenobia. Issei. What are you going to do now, Zenobia? What do you want to know? Zenobia. I will an apostrophe TP. Issei. You can come with me to heaven. At that, Zenobia is very surprised. Issei. I can reincarnate you as an angel. Of course, if you want. Zenobia. But my daughter is no longer Issei. You may be right, but follow his teaching about him. Zenobia thought about Issei's word because it was true, your teaching still stands. Zenobia. You're right, I'm going with you to heaven and I'll be reincarnated as an angel. Issei listens to that, he just smiled. Issei. Okay, let's go. Listen to that, I wanted to have peace in Los Angeles for those who said laughs for their power, so he left the underworld again. The new leader of heaven. Issei left there to return where Irina was and saw that they were recovered and told Irina everything. Of course it was Zenobia who told her everything because Issei did not want to see it ever. Irina. Then she already has the fragments of the sacred sword. Zenobia. That's right, but now she has to return to the church so that I can separate her and return her to normal, she told them seriously. Irina. And what are you doing, Zenobia? I'm going with Issei to do another mission, she told them, lying so Irina doesn't find out the truth. Issei. Zenobia, it's time, let's leave Irina at the airport so she can come back. Irina. Issei, I love you. P. She didn't finish because Issei interrupted them. Issei. Shidu, I'm not interested in what you're going to tell me. That for me it's already in the past, and you too for a past that I don't want to remember ever part of my life, she told them seriously. Irina just lowered her head so that he wouldn't see her tear because she really regretted everything. Go to heaven, he told them calmly. Zenobia. Before we left, why is Irina trying, he told them seriously. Issei. To make it short, she hit me and humiliated me and apostrophe T tell her enough to believe her. Zenobia. How can I believe that Irina did that to you when you were a child, she said it seriously. Issei. Let's go, it's not getting late and Michael has to tell me something, he said them seriously. Issei. And if you want know more about what you have to say to Grilsita, I think you will believe her more than me, he said them calmly. Issei opened a portal that connected to heaven. There were the four great seraphim: Dulio, Griselda, Marana. Zenobia is surprised because it was the first time I saw the seraphim in person and bowed to teach. Gabriel. You can get up, it's not necessary for you to do that, he said smiling. And Zenobia listened. Zenobia. Very nice to meet you, she said nervously, but she got more nervous when she saw Grilsita approaching her. Grilsita. But what do we have here, she said while squeezing her cheek. Zenobia. Could you please let me go? Grilsita nervously said, okay, but we'll talk later, he told them while he let go of Zenobia's cheek. Issei. We've finished that mission, but forgive me why Kokobiel revealed that secret, he told them a little. Gabriel. Don't worry, thanks to you Kokobiel did an apostrophe T want to start a war, he said them smiling. Uriel. And we have something to tell you, Issei, he said them with a smile. Issei. And what do you have to tell me, he said them curious. Issei. Wait, before you tell me Grilsita, can you tell Zenobia about my past? And don't worry, I told her I summarized it, but not the whole story, he told them seriously, and a nod from Grilsita. Issei. Now yes, you have to tell me, Raphael. It's better that you sit down, and if not you can faint, he said them with a smile. Issei. And what is the curious kills me, Michael? Issei, we love you name. How is the new leader this guy, he said smiling. Issei was more than surprised by that revelation. Issei. And why me, he said them still surprised. Gabriel. Issei, you are strong, but my brother cannot control the system as he did before my father, he said, sad to remember his father. Michael. It is not that I love you for your power, but I need your help. The system only works 20%, and surely with your help, it can go up more than 50 or 60%, he said seriously. Issei. It is okay, it makes more sense, he said seriously. Dulio. Congratulations, Issei, he said them with a smile. Issei. But at that everyone looked at them, and Michael wished it was not what Uriel was thinking, but what he said. Curious. Issei. I'm not going to do the paperwork, Michael takes care of that, he said them with a smile, because he is lazy to do paperwork. Michael could only fall to his knees because he still had that being the paperwork, and that was everyone's worst nightmare. There was not a single being that could stand up to that enemy that has no end. Michael. Okay. I sniff, take care of. Paperwork, he said them crying. They all looked at them with a look of understanding. Gabriel and Raphael just smiled because he thought that Ivan would do the paperwork, but Issei was smarter than him. Uriel and Dulio just smiled for having played Issei's game. Marana. Michael Sama, it seems that you are not going to have the vacation that you wanted, he said it smiling. Grilsita already told her everything. Zenobia is very upset with her friend Irina for doing that to Issei when he was just a 6-year-old boy. Zenobia. Issei, I apologize for Irina. Issei. You don't have to apologize for her, that's already in the past. Michael. Okay Issei, follow me, I will guide you where she is. It is a system of heaven. So Michael left. Gabriel came from behind Issei and Zenobia. The latter told him that they were going to be reincarnated by Issei. Michael. Issei, here is the system, please understand your hand towards me. Issei did so, and his wings came out, but they did not change color, but from Michael, if it was no longer golden but white. Michael. With that it makes you the new leader of heaven, although it surprises me that your wings continue to do the same as before, and not golden like I had, he said them smiling. Issei. I see, and how do I give power to the system so that it returns its former glory, he said them, because the system will not rise even 50% or 60% if it will not rise to 100% like its former glory or much more powerful. Michael. See there, he said them pointing to a crystal sphere. Michael. Give it a little of your power, and it will recognize you as the new leader of heaven. Issei eyes case carefully look at everyone. How much percentage will the system rise? Would it be 50% or 60%? That was the thought of everything, but that went to waste when they heard the voice of the system. Issei gave it a little of his power, and the sphere began to shine and recognized them as the new leader of heaven. But the system said something that surprised them a lot. System. New leader of heaven confirmed. System function 100%. Michael and Gabriel had their eyes wide open when they heard that the system returned to its former glory. That means, what is prayer and miracles? Will it be able to work like their father did? Gabriel. Brother, did you hear that I right? He told them surprised. Michael. Yes sister, the system returned to its former glory, he told them surprised. Issei. It's ready, the system returned to its former glory, he told them smiling. Michael. But how do we know that Issei is powerful? But we thought it would rise to 50 or 60%. Zenobia remained silent. All in mouse has spoken. Zenobia. Issei, how are you powerful here? He said it seriously. Issei. I don't know, but I think I'm in the top 3 in attendance, the most powerful in the world. He said it lying because he was stronger with that word. They were left with their blood frozen. Michael. I see, he said it calmly, but inside he was afraid of Issei. Issei. Well, Zenovia, I'm going to reincarnate you as an angel. Zenovia just nods, and Issei takes out his Joker card because he knew that Zenovia had great potential. Issei. Well, this is ready, Michael, but you still take care of the paperwork. He said it smiling. Issei. I think this will give him more damage to the demons than a simple headache. He said it thoughtfully. Michael. It's correct. Issei. They will give him more damage. His head will no longer hurt, but they can spit a lot of blood, more than that. He said it seriously. Gabriel. Thank you, Issei. He said it hugging him because the system returned as it was before. Issei. It is not nothing, he said smiling and reciprocating the hug. Issei. Michael. Do N''T let anyone find out that I'm the new leader of the angel faction? He said seriously. Michael. Do N''T worry, with the angels, they would also agree. Issei. I'm not referring to ours, but to the demon and fallen, he said seriously, and Michael and Gabriel already understood. Gabriel. Do N''T worry? Issei. Thank you, Gabriel. Could you train Zenovia to better control Durandal? He said smiling. Gabriel. Of course, be funny, and I'm also going to take Grilsisa with me, he said with an innocent smile, but Zenovia is scared by that smile, and more when they said that Ivan is taking his teacher, that made them feel more afraid than they had. Michael. You can take her to the twin salt flat. Issei. I'm leaving here, Tango Mu. He couldn't finish because Michael stopped him. Michael. Wait, Issei, I want to give you something. He said it seriously. Issei. And what? I laugh at you, Michael, he told them curiously. Michael. I want to give you the Dragon Slayer Ascalon. He lied, a light illuminated everything and showing a sword. Issei. Sorry, Michael, but I can't accept it, he told them seriously. That surprised Michael. Michael. Because Issei doesn't want it. Issei. I am better with a hit, he said them smiling. That made a drop of sweat fall in I'm style. Gabriel. But we keep giving it to you, he said them trying to talk to Issei. Issei. And if I give it to you, Ikki, that guy is very weak, he said them calm down, but that surprised the 3 who were there. Zenovia. Are you sure you give it to him? He said surprised. Issei. Yes, please, Michael, give it to him, he said calm. Michael. It's okay, Issei, but can you know why to him and more things that he did to you? Issei. It's circa N''T be a whim of mine. Issei. Well, I'm leaving, he said them while missing because she didn't want to answer more questions. Gabriel. Well, Zenovia is ready for your torture. I mean training, he said them smiling. Michael just sweated and wished that Zenovia would get out alive from there. Zenovia was there with fear while she was pulled by Gabriel while she communicated with Grilsita, who was waiting for her in the twin room. The next Issei continued walking through the academy, but he ran into a group of Grimoire. They were leaving quickly, but a voice stopped them. Issei. What do you want with him? Issei with coldness. Isai. Brothers come back with physical tenaciety and Adekansei's faces. Issei. I think it was clear with you, Ikki. Issei, do you want to kill Isai? He said it in white. Issei. And perhaps it didn't send metaplacetic and the tamaleveka melekatis mamalent nothing pinid believe him an egoist that word left emsolent and is left to place Rias. Anabara will find the way for him toward her Nakeno. What did they do to him so that he does not come back with you? Isai. It is nothing, let's go Asia. I hope I forgive us thasoda did him thought the air in it and SSI robudum ging topper for him to forgive ethemum he cold finished beganto. Spit a large amount of blood and great pain to the head that began to scream that alarmed the Grimoire group to see if he is well Kaneko. But what happened to Asia Rias? No, it is not, but this is not normal Akeno. Take her to the darkest club or not to take Asia Rias. Akeno tells Sona that I'm not going to clean the pool. Akeno just agreed, so everything went by the class, and in the darkest club they were there because she didn't improve at all. Rias. But what happens to him if before he had a headache? He told them worried about Asia Akeno. And if he tells Issei he has to know something. Everyone looked at them and agreed because Issei came from the faction of the angels, so Kaneko quickly went to look for Issei. She found them. Kaneko. Issei, the president wants to see you. Issei. I'm not interested Kaneko. But he needs your help. Issei. Tell him that I am weak as I told them in the past. Kaneko. For Asia, she has a headache and they bleed a lot. She said it with tears that caught Issei's attention. Perhaps it was because he was the new leader. Issei. Okay, so Kaneko guided them to where Asia was. Issei to see her. He was surprised because he did N''T expected Issei. But what happened to her Akeno? They were just going to pray and that happened to her. Is now understood. Issei. I see Kiba. Please Issei, help her. Issei, seeing her face in desperation, decided to help her because this girl is not to blame. Issei makes a power ball and they give it to her as if they were healing them little by little. Issei. That's it, and do not come back, pray, or else the next one will die. She said it seriously. Everything surprised those who said Rias. But why didn't that happen before? But Issei ignored her completely and left because he didn't want to be there. Rias. He left and didn't say anything. English. Nothing. Isai. That doesn't matter anymore. Ikki. Asia is already cured. Akeno. Yes, but why did this happen if before only his head hurt a little? Kiba. I don't know what happened. Kaneko. Issei, why doesn't your brother talk to you? What did they do to Issei? Because when I went to look for them, part of Rias told me tell him that I am DB and that he doesn't need my help, she said seriously, and Rias just lowered her head because she remembers them very well. Rias. It's nothing important, but I saw that a magic circle came out and there came out two people, Surziches and Graphia, and Surziches pretended why Asia was like that and everything told him the truth. Surziches and Graphia were very surprised. The next day Issei was walking calmly thinking about what happened yesterday in that state of Asia, but that thought went away when he saw a white-haired boy and felt a magical power. The white-haired boy walked where he found Issei, but he sat down and spoke. Vali. My name is Vali and I possess the White Dragon Emperor. Issei. So it was he didn't finish because Vali had a finger pointed at his forehead. Vali. What happens if I use a magic attack? Issei. No, he won't do it because there are people around us. Vali. What do I care about people? Issei. Do you know if you attack and call attention it can bring you problems from Azazel? Vali just lowered his finger from him. But he saw how the Gremory group arrived, but Issei just ignored them and left them with Vali. He was a little surprised by this. Ivan talks to him and his rival, but he has already left. And he talks the same about Anaim, but they were not there. Zenobia. In the group they left from there. But they found Sona and Tsubaki and they told her what happened. Sona. Ikki, you better be careful with the White Dragon Rias. Don't even tell them. She also talked to Issei, but he ignored them. Sona. I hope he doesn't break up another fight, he said it would be serious. Rias. A bigger problem. Sona. Yes, but with Issei, the angels will have a very big advantage because Issei shows that he is no longer weak and if a war starts, Issei will not kill everything. Including us. Rias and her entourage just stayed very quiet because what Sona said was true. With Issei, he was walking down the hall but heard a disaster in his living room and saw and found a blonde hair. It was Gabriel. Now Issei understood why the boy was doing so. Issei. Hello Gabriel, what are you doing here? All the men and women looked at them in amazement because Issei knows her, but the men were envious of her. Gabriel. Hello Issei, how are you? I came because I wanted to see you. He said to them smiling. Issei. I see, and what does he have that camera for? He said curiously. Gabriel increased his smile. Gabriel. I came because I found out there is a family meeting and I came to keep you company, he said smiling, and Issei just blushed out of shame to Issei. It is not necessary Gabriel. He does not want me to be here, he said sadly. Issei to see that he just sighed. Issei. Okay, let's go to my living room, and a very angry Gabriel. When they entered all the men were with lustful looks to see Gabriel and she hid because of the look Issei was giving her to see that just with a murderous look at all the men who were looking at Gabriel and they left her. Look at that look Issei was giving her. Two people to see the black-haired girl were happy that was the black-haired girl's ex-parents that was the I wanted to hug him and kiss him and ask for forgiveness, sorry for everything, for all the damage. What had she told him when he was barely a 6-year-old boy? Issei just ignored them that too, but Gabriel noticed but didn't say anything because she came for Issei. That's right professor, they were giving him a piece of maxilla block so that he would do what Issei wanted. Only had one thought while Gabriel was recording Issei's ex-father, but Issei didn't give it importance. Issei has already finished his culture, which was the same with Gabriel being a beautiful passage. Everything to see that Issei did. She wanted to buy it, but Issei told her no, and a very red Gabriel because Issei gave them to her and she accepted them. When Issei's ex-father wanted to talk to her, he left from there. He stayed there alone very sad because she wanted to talk to her ex-son Gabriel. Issei, thank you, it's very pretty, he said smiling but with a blush. Issei. Don't worry, he said, calm down, but seeing that all the students went to the gym out of curiosity they went too, but they saw that a girl was dressed like a magical girl. Issei. Who is she? Gabriel, one of the 4 demon kings, his name is Levinta. Issei. I see, but I saw how a blonde took out everything you studied and how they arrived in a Gremory group. I saw how Rias greeted Seraphol and she was very upset because Sona didn't say anything to her and that they were about to destroy heaven. That caught the attention of Issei and Gabriel. Gabriel. Hey. Don't you think you're being a little Sager, said the entire Gremory group, and Sona and Seraphol turned around to where that voice came from. Seraphol to see who said that surprised her a lot because in front of her she saw the Seraph Gabriel, her eternal rival, and a little nervous because she heard that they were going to destroy her in heaven. Seraphol. But what do we have here? A dove that fell from heaven, she said to them, looking where Gabriel was, and she was also doing the same where Seraphol was, and they were all with one thought, what are going to happen now? The truth is discovered. The tension was clear by the look that Gabriel and Seraphol gave each other, and they looked at each other defiantly. Gabriel because Seraphol said that she was going to destroy the sky for a simple tantrum. Seraphol always saw Gabriel as her greatest rival, and now that she had him face to face, she was not going to waste this opportunity. Seraphol. But what do we have here? A dove got lost. Or does he want to fight, he said to them while looking at her defiantly. Gabriel. And you think that I came here to fight? I came for Issei, I told you, because she didn't like to fight. Serafal. And because it is in the territory of the demons this can be declared as a war, he said it seriously. Issei. She comes with me and nothing more, she just came to take a walk to the academy, he said it calmly. Serafal. And because I don't believe you, they can hurt my sister and Rias. That tension between the two heiresses, Issei. And if it were like that, then I would have let Gabriel kill him, he said it seriously. Serafal alone stayed silent, since this boy was telling the truth. If it were N' for him, his sister and Rias would be dead, and that would have loved a war. Gabriel. Let's go, Issei, he told them calmly. Serafal. Then thank you for protecting my sister, he said them smiling, and Sona thought that Issei was going to say you're welcome, but that hope fell silent. Issei. Who said that I protect your sister on my side? Gabriel would have killed him. That surprised Serafal, because she honestly did N' expect it, but right now she was releasing her aura. Serafal. Then why is she here? He would have left her childish side. Gabriel. Let's go, Issei, I don't want to see her anymore, and she doesn't want me to fight. He said it would be leaving her childish side too. Sona. Controlling sister, she told them that her sister would come to her senses, but Issei appreciated her more. Issei. Why, your damn sister along with this damn retard who is next to her made my childhood a hell for not having a sacred gear, and them also threw me that dimension that opens every 11 years, he said angrily. At that statement, Serafal was surprised. She did not expect me to tell her that her sister threw that boy into that dimension with Rias, but since she was her sister, she would not be incapable of doing that. Serafal. Lie, my sister and Rias would never do that, he said seriously, but Rias and Sona along with the hyoudou brothers lowered their heads at that. Surziches arrived with his father and Issei's ex-fathers through them. He felt Serafal's aura and looked to see that they were there. Gabriel with a black-haired man. Surzich. What is a seraph doing here in demon territory, he said seriously. Serafal. Hums with that boy called Issei, he said seriously. Rias. Brother, let us get out of here, nothing will happen, he said, trying to calm things down, because if his brother finds out a war would start. Sona. Yes sister, let's go now, he said, trying to calm his sister. Serafal. But how do you want me to calm down? Sona, that boy Issei insulted you with Rias, he said them seriously. That called Surzich's attention, and with his father. Surzich. What does Serafal mean? That they insulted Rias, he said them seriously. So Serafal tells him everything that this young man said. Surzich and Ria's father were furious. Surzich. How dare you say that about my sister? Gabriel. We're not going anymore, let's not start a battle here, he told them seriously. Issei. Let's go, Gabriel, I don't want to fight without you being here, he told them seriously. Issei. And if you want more answers, why don't you ask your sister, and you can use magic to reveal the truth, he told them seriously while he left with Gabriel. Serafal. Sona, that's a lie, what that boy said, Issei, he said them seriously. Surzich. You too, Rias, tell me the truth. If that was a lie or the truth, I meant it seriously, Lord Gremory. I would answer the question. The serious Rias and Sona could only lower their heads and began to cry, because they did not know how their brother was going to take it, but it was too late. Issei revealed everything to them, and they could only nod and confirm the answer. Surziches and Serafal were surprised because they thought it was a lie, but it was the reality. Their sister had confirmed it, along with Sona. Lord Gremory. Rias, I didn't believe you like that, he said them furiously, and he was not the only one. Surziches and Serafal were also furious. Serafal. I thought it was a lie, but I saw it was true. Sona, you sent Issei to that place at the age of 6, he said them while heading where Sona to slap him with Rias. Surziches. You too, how could they allow it, he told them, upset with the hyoudou family. The entourage of Rias and Sona remained silent all this time, but they heard everything and not them. I could believe it, but she confirmed it herself. Issei. No, we let ourselves be carried away by power, he said to them crying. Ikki. Yes, and we are sorry, Serafal. And you who think that he has forgiven you are a selfish. Sona, our father will find out about this. I am going where Issei is and apologize, he said to them while he was leaving. Surziches. Rias, this we will talk about the underworld when the peace conference ends, he said to them while he walked away with his father, leaving only the hyoudou family, and Rias and Sona were crying, because the truth is already finished being revealed. The entourage each one left, because they did not want to talk to him with Serafal. She was looking for Issei to apologize, and she saw them with Gabriel. Sitting next to a tree. Minute before Serafal arrived. Gabriel. Issei, I apologize for talking about that moment, he said to them with a tear. Issei. Do not worry, Gabriel, you only reacted to Serafal's word, he said to them. Calm down, Issei. I apologize for reacting to what I almost did. War, he said them repentant. When Gabriel was going to answer him, a voice was present. Serafal. No. I apologize for reacting that way, he said them sadly. When Issei and Gabriel looked at who said that, they were surprised. Issei. I do think I went too far by insulting in that way. Gabriel. Serafal, we do want any more problems, he said them calmly. Serafal. I apologize, Issei, on behalf of the Citri, he said them with a bow. Issei. That is already in the past. Serafal. Yes, but Sona, I sent you there. Issei. As I said that I do N''T care anymore, but I also do N''T want Sona and Gremory to approach me, he told them seriously Seraphol. You have my word he said them calmly Gabriel. And I also ask you for forgiveness he did them being a bow Seraphol. I also ask you for forgiveness he also said them with a bow Issei. Good since this is already solved Issei. Okay Gabriel, we have to go to heaven Gabriel said to them calmly. Okay let's go bye Seraphol. Okay bye and we won't see the peace conference he said to them smiling as he left. Peacemaker and a new enemy chapter 14. When Issei and Gabriel went to heaven they found Michael and Zenobia who had Durandal Issei was surprised by the sacred power that the sword released Issei. Zenobia what happened to your sword why does it look different Excalibur's sword? Issei. Here and surprising Zenobia, but be careful with that power that sword has he said a little seriously Zenobia. Calm down it's okay they told me he said smiling Michael. Issei I have to let you know that there is a peace treaty at the meeting between the three great factions he said calmly Issei. I understand he said calmly Michael. And they saw that they had a problem with the demons he said seriously Gabriel. Sorry brother it was my fault for reacting that way with Seraphol Issei. No like I said that it was really my fault if I had N''T spoken at that moment that wouldn't have happened Michael. But that's already fixed Gabriel. Yes Seraphol apologized to Issei for what her sister did to her Michael. I'm glad to hear that Issei. Well since that's already fixed let's go with Rias and Sona she was crying because her brother and sister already found out what they did to her she was little and now his peace were looking at him with disappointment at brother hyoudou Ikki. I cannot believe what they did to Issei Ikki and Isai, she told them a little angry Tsubaki. Then it was true what he said the first time you mistreated them for not having a sacred gear, she said them angrily Isai. We already paid that price she said them crying Ikki. Yes and I regret throwing that place to my brother she said them crying Kiba. Brother says he is no longer your brother he no longer considers you brother Rias. Kiba why does he talk to Ikki like that she told them angrily Ikki. Better not say anything Rias, because of you that boy lived through hell for not having a sacred gear, she said them more angrily and left Rias silent since it was true Sona. Hey be careful how you talk to your king Loa Dexia angry Tsubaki. Ikki is telling the truth and don't make a fool of yourself because you were there when you threw them like trash and what do you say your brother and father because approved that idea she said angrily making everything cry more and more because Tsubaki was completely right Ikki. Ikki let's go to my temple someone wants to see you she said angrily Ikki. Who wants to see me Rias? Someone wants to give you something Ikki. Let's go she said a little calmer Ikki. Rias will go too she said while Rias agreed so the three of them left in a magic circle and they were standing in front of a temple. Ikki. They won't do anything to them because we are a demon Rias. No, my brother arranged everything for Ikki to live hear voice. You are a red dragon emperor and everything looked at a person lowered and with 12 golden wings. No Issei put a spell on him so that his wings were golden Ikki. Who are you he said surprised Michael. I am the Archangel Michael, I govern the angels Ikki was surprised because in front of him he has the leader of the angels, so they went inside Rias and Ikki was left in front of Michael Ikki. Because my body wants to explode, no. It doesn't make that feeling he said it in his thoughts. Michael. Ikki this is the Ascalon Dragon Slayer sword Ikki, Dragon Slayer sword he told them surprised Ikki. Now I understand why my body reacted like that Michael. You know I wanted to give this sword to Issei he said them calmly, but they were surprised when they found out who is it going to be given to Rias. Because Issei didn't accept it Michael. He doesn't use the sword he says that hits are better for him he said them calmly, although inside he didn't want to answer that made the three of them get a sweaty and I'm style blow Michael. And he told me that he gave it to you, he left them surprised in a boy that they made his life impossible Ikki. And why to me Michael? I want you to assimilate this sword in your augmented glove it is heard there that you are the weakest of that augmented glove, so Issei told me to give you that sword to help you a little, he told them calmly now Ikki already felt as his brother called him before because it was true he was weak before his brother Ikki. I know I'm weak, but why Michael? You see after the war ended the three powers continued fighting for lesser scale, compared to the ancient era Ikki. The last fight was of lesser scale Michael. That's right and if that continues that battle they finished with everything even today or maybe a new side will emerge and that does not destroy everything one day Ikki. A new side Michael. There is also a very different system between the three big factions and that's why I want to take advantage of the next meeting with the leaders Ikki. Take advantage he told them a little surprised Michael. That's right to go back fix the three sides and stop the fight yes sense Ikki. I see with all that we can stop the whole fight Michael. A long time ago there was an occasion that we all united when the red and white dragons made a mess on Earth, my humble. English. Petition to Red Dragon Emperor that we can join forces once again he said while finishing telling the story Rias. Ikki accepts Michael Sama's gift to Keno. Except imagine that it is a gift from Issei because he didn't want them either Ikki. Okay I will put to have a holy sword assimilated from my glove drag. And sacred object, do everything you want to carry it, if you want you can have it, Ikki. That's what I want, Drake. Partner, focus your thoughts on sacred object. Ikki did almost what Drake said and took the handle of the sword. Drake. Keep your aura at the rhythm of the holy sword. A shine blinded everything and you could see Ikki with the sword in his glove. Ikki? They worked, he said, surprised Michael. Well, my mission is over, I have to go, Ikki. Excuse me, but I have a question, Michael. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to talk to you, but at the meeting I could listen to you, Ikki. Well, but keep your word. So Michael left that place, leaving Rias, Ikki and Akeno. Ikki. He's already gone, Rias. And we're not going either, Akeno. Okay, let's go. In heaven, Michael appeared in front of Issei and Gabriel. Michael. It's ready, Issei. Well, thanks, Michael. No thanks to you, because it doesn't help much when you get there, Gabriel. Issei, let's eat, I'm hungry, he told them innocently. Issei. Okay, let us go. Bye, Michael, he said to them while they were leaving. A few days later, you could see a white-haired man with a blue wing. English. Volley. It all starts tonight. The supreme leaders will meet to talk about boring things that were wasted. Office. I have no interest in a world as boring as this. Volley. Office. Volley imitated one of your phrase. Volley. Good for you, but it's true, I'm not interested in this world. The night came, Michael. The time has come, Issei. Michael is right, Gabriel. Then let's go to the meeting. So they went to the meeting. The leaders of the demons. Surziches, Lucifer, Seraphol, Leviathan, the Fallen, Azazel, Penemuel, Volley, Angelus. Issei, Michael and Gabriel, Arena and Zenobia. Surziches, dried up. Issei, Surziches, I apologize for what my sister did to you. Issei. That's over now. Azazel. What do you think? The meeting starts now, he said it unreasonably. Then Ria's entourage arrives and Sona. Rias. We're here, Sona. Sorry for the delay, Surziches. Now yes, let's start the meeting, he said it seriously. Hasty, each leader took their place, but everyone looked at Issei where he sat. That place where Ivan leader Seraphol. Issei, that place goes the leader, he said them smiling. Michael. No, he did not sit in the wrong seat, he said them with a smile, just like Gabriel and Zenobia. Azazel. Come on, Michael, the joke is over. That seat go leader, he said them with a smile, thinking that Michael were playing a joke. Gabriel. You are wrong, Azazel. Issei did not sit in the wrong seat. Now Azazel erased his smile because now he understood with Penemu. Perhaps you are, she said it very surprised. A demon who does not understand anything because Penemu and Azazel were stone Surziches. Excuse the bother, but can you tell me what is happening here? Loadexia, because she did not understand what he was talking about with Seraphol and with the Gremory group. Drake. To maybe you are the new leader. Heaven, he said to them, surprised before Drake's word. All they were speechless before. In Albion itself. Albion. This has to be a joke, Michael. No, is a joke, Issei, the new leader of heaven, as Drake said. Now they were speechless because Michael just confessed them. Penemu. Why did you name it like that? He is so young, he said it seriously. Michael. Because he is stronger than me. Along with my brother we decided to make them the new leader of heaven. Surziches. The stronger than you, he said it surprised at that. Remembers Ria's word and now he understands why he named them Surziches. Perhaps you are that power that defeated Kakabiel. Azazel. Now that I remember them, I also felt a power so great that it reached Grigori. Issei. That's right. That power was mine. I know that this is thinking of a being like Michael who is 1,000 years old like me, but I did not have a normal childhood. Penemu. I am in a dimension that opens every 11 years. I said them seriously. Before that Los Angeles fell. Penemu, Azazel, and Valo himself were surprised. Volley. That has to be a joke, nobody gets out of there alive. Even if it is a supernatural being. Azazel. That's true, nobody gets out alive. Surziches. He's not lying, Azazel, he did get out of there. Penemu. And how do you know if you're telling the truth? Seraphol. Because it was our sister who threw them there, she said it seriously and upset. Azazel and Penamuel together with Volley. Now they believed her because they confirmed them from Seraphol. Azazel. And how many years were you there? Issei. Since I was 6 years old. That word left the fallen petrified. Penemu. You've been there since I was 6 years old. Michael. I think you already know why we are going to those of us who come, he said it because Issei no longer wanted to respond. Surziches. I think I agree, everything happened the same as the original story. Azazel. So not traditional. Volley. Sorry, Azazel, but this side is more fun. Ikki. Volley, you're broad, he said angrily. Azazel. Well, Volley, I want you to answer one of my questions. My vice president told me that there is a group of people who wants to bring down the 3 great powers is called the Cows Brigade. Gabriel. To rebel together in that way a very powerful destiny is required. Azazel. That will be the leader of that little group is Office, the goddess of infinity. Penemu. Office, impossible. Ikki. Another dragon. Rias. The dragon matters, says that god himself. Odin favors Volley. It's true that I joined Office's side, but she and I have no interest in her world. We are only a group of power-hungry people. Azazel. And I thought you were with Kateria and her plan to take the throne from Saint Issei. Take the throne from the demon Seraphol. What does valor mean? My real name Volley. Lucifer. Surziches. What did Gabriel say? Lucifer. Rias. Impossible, it has to be a lie. Volley. The blood of ancient demon king flows through my vein, I am a product of a demon and a human Issei. Now it makes sense, that's why Surziches didn't know anything, Michael. That was possible because the system was so low, Azazel. This has to be the strongest white dragon emperor that can exist, Ikki. The strongest volley. Ikki hyoudou does not believe that destiny can be something cruel. I possess the strongest dragon that can, and you are a human with demon blood, Ikki. What does it mean, volley? Hey, I propose something, I will avenge you, will kill your father right now before he dies a few more years, Ikki. Why does my father involve this? It has nothing to do with this, he said them with anger and activated imbalanced Krias. Ikki, be careful, but everyone saw how he fought, but clearly it was seen how volley had the advantage and how Ikki fell to the ground very hurt. Volley. What a dissension, now I will put an end your life, Isai. Brother caretaker, he said them crying. Ikki just watched as volley approached at great speed. Ikki, this will be my end, Issei, forgive me, he told them while closing his eyes, but saw that he felt nothing, so he opened his eyes and saw that they were Issei in front of him. Issei. Volley, don't you think you're going too far, he told them seriously. Everyone was surprised by Issei's speed that moment he arrived there, but Michael, Gabriel and Zenobia couldn't believe them, Issei, except that they made his life a hell. Volley. Do you want me to die too, Issei? Do you think I'll die? There is that dimension that there are a lot of monsters, and you think that I will get angry and kill me, he said them with a smile. Volley just stayed quiet because it was true. Volley. Then let's fight, he said them smiling. Issei. You know, I think you will show a transformation that not even Michael and Gabriel saw, he said them with a smile. Volley. That will transform you into a Super Saiyan phase 3, I already saw you that way when I fought with Gabriel, he said them smiling. Issei. Who said that I would transform into that transformation, Azazel? Hey Michael, what does that boy mean, Michael? It was an apostrophe TB the first time I heard that Penimu. But he's in your faction and he doesn't know what he's talking about, Gabriel. We do an apostrophe T know why Issei has so many transformations. Before he said anything he left them speechless. Rias and Sona couldn't believe that boy who once humiliated them was so powerful. Issei. I hope Lucifer prepares you. Issei began to increase his power until a red aura covered them. Rias. What is that power, he told them scared. Gabriel. Issei, what is he doing? Surziches. That's the power of the new leader of heaven, he said. It's terrifying because it was much more powerful than it felt the other time. Azazel. I don't know what that boy has, but I wouldn't like to have him as an enemy, Penimu said, frightened. You had such a powerful ally, she said to them, frightened and blushing at the same time. But everyone dropped their mouths to the ground because of Issei's new appearance. His hair was red, but no one felt his presence. And all the women blushed and Gabriel was jealous as he looked at Issei. Issei. This is the transformation of Super Saiyan Red God Phase 3. Volley was terrified by that power he had with Albion and Drake because he felt that that power surpassed them. Azazel. Surziches and the Gremory group were more than terrified by such a display of power. He did not want to have them as an enemy and could not even imagine if they were in a war because he knew that they were going to lose by the hand of Issei on the part of the group of the Penimu women. Seraphil were more than terrified and at the same time blushed more. Seraphil because she was going to face Issei and showed that he was stronger and superior. Sona and Rias and the hyoudou brothers were surprised and terrified. Now he knows that Issei is stronger than everything together, for that Issei saw her as if she were a flyer and Aunt Michael, Gabriel. Zenobia and Irina were with their eyes as plates by that transformation, although Michael and Gabriel told him that Issei had more transformations, but still it was surprising. And all the Yokai facts, Asgard, Olympus etc. felt that power some win the fight and one was afraid, but for a brunette she knew that they were going to be a problem for the future and left quickly. Volley was scared by such a show of power. Volley. They are monster. Of power, he said them with fear. Issei. Let's start, he said them with a smile. Volley quickly wanted to give him a punch that Issei easily missed and hit him in the face to destroy his helmet and quickly landed a hit on his right and with 3 hits, Volley fell very badly wounded. Volley. Q. That Issei. You're weak. And quickly a guy came out with a baton in his hand and a Chinese armor, and Office came out in a snake. Office. So you are the one who carries that power, Issei. And I imagine you are Office Biku. Volley, what happened? They used you as a sackboxing, he said smiling. Volley. I was silent, he said angrily. Office. I will take them very soon. We will not see Issei. That's how Office. Volley and Biku left Issei. Well, it seems that he left. He didn't finish because he received a very powerful attack. Everyone looked at who threw that attack at Issei, but they dropped their mouths and eyes like plates because of that guy. He has the same transformation as Issei, the Super Saiyan Red God Phases 3. Wow, I got there on time, he said with a malicious smile. Issei versus Black. All had the eyes like plate while the subject was flying, but what left him surprised in the transformation that he had, because it was the same Issei. Surziches. Who are you, he told them seriously because they felt his power voice. I am nobody, just a guy who comes by here, but out of curiosity I ran into a guy who had the same transformation as me, but I see that he has more transformations. I don't know if Issei hyoudou and that he came out of that dimension. Issei. I don't know who it is, but that attack did hurt me and tell me who you really are, you said it seriously voice. Well, if you want. Know who I am, just tell me, Black, he said it smiling. Issei. With what, Black? How to know that I got out of that dimension, he told them seriously. Black. I know who you are, go through hell for your family and that demon, but you never gave up getting out of that resignation. I congratulate you, Issei. Hyoudou, he said them in a way to provoke him. Issei. If you tell me Hyoudou again, I'll kill you, he said them seriously. Black. But how curious, I came for a fight. How about yes, we fight who we are powerful, he told them seriously. Transform into Super Saiyan phase 2 Issei. Michael, and you also make a very powerful barrier, so that this is not going to be easy at all, he told them seriously to also transform into Super Saiyan phase 2 with the leaders. Michael. You heard, let's make a super barrier because this is not going to be easy at all, he said them seriously. Gabriel. Brother, do you think Issei can beat him? Serafal. I believe Issei can, I'll beat him for sure, he said with a smile. Azazel. I'm not sure because that kind of Black, another the same transformation Issei, he said them seriously. Surziches. I hope Issei can handle this. Pinemu. Let's make the barrier right now, he said them seriously, and the leaders made the barrier so that it does not affect the city of Cow with Issei and Black. Issei. Tell me something, you are with Cow's brigade, he said it seriously. Black. No, but very soon, yes, he said them with a smile. Then he hits Issei to send him crashing into one of the e-balls, but he quickly gets up to punch him in the stomach and then rises to the sky to punch and kick him, but Black did not let himself be reciprocated the same as Issei. Everything did not know what to say for such a tremendous battle. They are only fighting with the transformation, the Super Saiyan phase 2 Isai. Issei became that strong, he told them, scared by that battle. Ikki. Issei no longer left behind, but this fight does not compare to that of Volley. They were scared. Rias. Yes, but he is not using all his power, she said, scared now. She knows. Issei looks at her as if she were a fly. Sona. That is really Issei, and that he was once a loser, now he is really powerful, she told them, scared and sorry for throwing Issei into that dimension with the leaders. They were surprised by that battle, but she knew that they were not using all their power because the power that Issei used to defeat Volley was much greater than what he is using now. But Issei, he continued fighting like he had never done before when they were in the dimension. Issei misses a kick that was headed towards his face. Pretal quickly dodges it, and my mind knees him in the abdomen. Black punches Issei in the abdomen. Black Ivan hit him with a screen in the head, but very fast, and he dodged it, and with his right hand the subject pie Black so that he slips, and she looks at herself and smiles with the leaders. Michael. Issei, take care of you with that guy. Gabriel. Brother, Issei is very badly hurt, he told them, worried about his love interest Azazel. That's nothing to him, he said them seriously. Gabriel. And how do you know that, Azazel, he said them seriously. Surziches. Because he is fighting with the weakest transformation, he said them seriously. Pinemu, and if he came out alive there, that should be nothing, he said them smiling. Serafal. Pinemu is right. Gabriel trusts Issei, he said them with a smile. Gabriel. He's right. Issei wins, he said them worried. Issei was still in the air fighting with Black, who had the same strength as Black. Tell me, you thinker, who was the only one who could transform? Issei. You're wrong, because if I could get to these transformations, can another human reach the same form? Black said seriously. He is right, not everyone considers weak, and I will show him that we are not weak, Issei said seriously. Then we have different thoughts, Issei said seriously, and Black goes to a speed to stay in the air again. But a carelessness of Issei, Black took advantage to give him a punch in Issei all over the face, to crash him on the ground and kick him in the face to send a piece of debris that Issei stayed buried there for Black will be a kind of ring in both hands, on both legs and one on the neck. And Black used them as if it were a punching bag, but she began to increase her power more before Ella breaking free again, but Ella had rock in each arm and decided to leave each one of them in Black's face. Black received that piece of rock very hard and a lot of blood came out on her face, but he quickly got up and collided head-on with Issei, and he did the same while holding his hand. But the leaders and the Gremory group, nobody said anything about the surprising battle that Issei and Black were carrying out. Surziches. I don't want to imagine if he fights with all his power, he said them with fear because it was his first time watching a wild fight. Azazel. And you had that boy as an ally, and I can't imagine if we were in a war, he said them with fear. Pinemu. I don't want to see you with all your power, he said them with fear. Serafal. And I who were going to confront me with Issei, he said them with fear because it was true Issei would beat him easily. Michael. I have to tell you that it is the first time I see Issei do that, he told them calmly, unlike that Gabriel. It is even in power, he told them while the camera recorded. Who knows where he got it with the Gremory group's Rias and Sona were afraid now if Issei would kill her for all the damage they did to her since she was girl, and that scared them more. The Hyoudou siblings were the same as the Gremory group. Akeno, Tsubaki, Asia, Kiba. Kaneko were scared by such a battle. Zenovia admired Issei. She wanted to become like Issei, someone strong, but she knew in hell what she had to do to get that power. Irina was surprised by such a battle and regretted betraying Issei when she was a child. Issei continued to beat Black up, but everyone looked tired. And finally, each of them punched each other in the face. Black. Well, it seems that I'm leaving now to see what I had to see, he said tiredly. Issei. What do you mean, he said tiredly. Black. Very soon you will know, and the next time we see you, you will fight with all my power, he said them while he was leaving. Issei. That'll be in a day, he said them seriously. Gabriel, having that he left quickly, was where he found Issei to hug him, jealous of some girl. Gabriel. Issei finds you okay, he said them, very worried. Issei. Of course Gabriel, I'm fine, he said them smiling, but he approached the leaders. Azazel. Boy, he finds you. Issei. Of course, but that guy is too powerful, he told them seriously. Michael. Issei, you can beat him, right, he said them nervously. Issei. The truth is not, he said them seriously. Surziches. How about we sign the peace treaty, he said it seriously because he wouldn't want Issei as an enemy. Gabriel. I agree, let's make peace, he said them smiling. Serafal. Hey Gabriel, give me a copy of that video. Penemu. Can you give me a copy of that video too, Gabriel? No, he said them with a pout. Serafal and Penemu. Why not, Rias? Issei, you are strong. Issei. That does not matter to you. Gear Sona. Why, the trick is like this, we ask for your forgiveness, and Javi does not try. When Serafal they were going to claim Sona, Issei spoke first. Issei. What if I mistreated you at 6 years old and I threw you that place where they threw me like garbage, what would you say, she said to them, annoyed Sona. Issei. I knew that you do N''T have the face to face your problem. Michael. Well, since we signed the peace treaty, let's fix the academy arena. You're right, Michael. Sama. Zenobia. Issei needs healing. Issei. Don't worry, Zenobia, this is nothing, those who had to live, she said them smiling, and Zenobia didn't say anything because it was the truth. Isai. Issei can give him the ability to pray to Asia, he said, not to try to cry. Issei. Asia wants to pray again, even though our Lord LLR no longer exists. Asia. Yes, Issei, I want to give my prayer to my Lord, even though he no longer exists. Issei. Gabriel and Michael looked at each other and agreed. Surziches. Issei accepts this as our peacemaker, he said smiling. Issei. Also tomorrow you can speak, he said smiling. Asia and Isai. Thank you, Issei. Irina, come with us to heaven, he said seriously. Irina, I only ask to feel Azazel. Well, I'm leaving, I will stay another season in the city, he said while they were leaving. Issei. Well, we're not going either, he said while Michelle created a transportation circle for Gabriel and Zenobia and Irina and for Issei, because he is weak from the fight, so he went with his own. Surziches. Well, we're not going either, Rias and Sona, very soon we will talk about your behavior, he said seriously, and she could only nod. Serafal. Well, Surziches, since everything is already arranged, we're not going, he said while creating a magic circle, and left their. Rias, well, they've already left, and we're not going either, he told them as everyone was leaving. Chapter 16. When Issei and Gabriel, Michael, Zenobia and Irina returned to heaven since the peace meeting was a success, but now Issei had to deal with a problem, and that was Black, since he showed up at the meeting when he defeated Volley Lucifer and had a very violent battle, although they did not use all their powers, only the Super Saiyan Phase 2 transformations, since that was the weakest. Since the power of Super Saiyan phases was used, Red God was going to destroy Cow City, but he wondered why he wanted to destroy the fractions, but he could not leave this aside, but now he had to face Irina, not that he was going to punish her, he not only wanted to know if he wanted to make an angel, nothing more. Issei. Irina, I want to be a question, he said them calmly. Irina. I'm so sorry, Issei, I got carried away by laughter and Sona, she was the one who convinced me along with your family, he said them shedding tears. Issei. Of that is spoken, I just wanted to know if you want to become an angel, he said it calmly. Irina. But I did very bad things to you when we were little, he said it shedding a few tears. Zenobia. Except Irina. Issei, I forgive you, he does not want to know anything about your past, even if it is the new leader of heaven. Issei. I did not forgive you, but if you want me to forgive you have to win my trust once again. You want an angel, yes or no, Irina? Yes, Issei, I want to be an angel, he said it happy because Issei told him that he could have a chance. Issei the forgiven do so. Issei reincarnates Irina as an angel, and he asked Zenobia to train Irina, and she left. Now only Michael, Gabriel and Issei were left, and when Michael takes the word, Michael. Tell me, Issei, what are we going to do with Black, he said it seriously. Issei. The truth is I am not the ones, I have what I admitted that it is very strong and more. When he said that the Chaos Brigade was going to be recruited, it will be a very powerful and problematic enemy, he said seriously. Gabriel. Then, we must be very careful just in case he does not attack, he said seriously. Michael. Tell me, Issei, what would have happened if I used all your power, he said curious. Issei. The truth is I think it would have destroyed the city of Cow, the entire country. Michael said thoughtfully. I see, he said it calmly. Gabriel. Issei, what do you think if we go eat? I'm hungry, he said it innocently. Issei. Okay, Michael, the first ask you who that guy from Black was and what he was like before, and if you see that he is dangerous, let me know please, he said it seriously. Michael. I didn't have to tell me, I already did, he said it calmly. Issei. Well then bye, he said it while they were leaving with Gabriel. Michael. I hope you are happy, little sister, he said it smiling and then left because he knew that Gabriel was in love with Issei. Issei and Gabriel, they were walking calmly, but Gabriel asked a question that made Issei sad to remember all the suffering he had to go through. Gabriel. Tell me Issei how you got to those transformations that you have, he said it curious because it seems that humans can get to those transformations, but only two people have seen this. Issei his ex-Joker and Black Issei. Well he could arrive when I got really furious when they threw me into that dimension, if you want I can show them to you in an energy sphere Gabriel. Yes Issei I want to see please he said them while approaching Issei flashback, you could see a brown-haired man who was lying on the floor very hurt. Because they had been there for more than 2 weeks, but he started to train, but he saw that a subject with a tail was approaching, and that made him nervous because he still could not defend himself alone Issei. Who are you he said them seriously, although inside they were scared chilled. My name is Shield Kid and now I'm going to kill you, but first I want you to have fun, he told them while approaching Issei to punch him in the stomach and then throw him and put his foot on his head and crash him into the ground several times. Issei. Stop please he said them releasing a tear. Chilled. What's wrong kid, aren't you having fun he said it with an arrogant smile. Issei only looked at him with fear to send him crashing into the ground and Issei just looked back at them as if he were only making fun of him and he did nothing Issei. Damn I'm weak I think that demon was right I'm pathetic chilled. Why are you so pathetic he said them while he kicked him all over the stomach to make him crash into the ground to do more damage chilled. Well it's time for me to die he said them while launching the attack at Issei to damage him more Issei. Damn I'm a disgrace if only I had a little more power he told them while he hit his head against the ground and remembered what his life was like despising him like trash, that only made him more until angry he hits ground against the fist. And her hair turned golden every moment and her eyes too like emerald eyes and she went back to the same thing. Issei. I will finish you he Dexia furiously because I remembered how I mistreated them chilled. Ha 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 you will finish me. What a good joke Issei just stood there and began to growl with fury and lightning began to surround his entire body and stone began to rise and he began to scream ah and his hair began to change color as well as his eyes and he turned around where that cursed one was. To see him as if he was cursed by the devil and that damn family who made his life impossible and that damn thing began to rise like a crazy man and that reminded me of that damn smile of the Grimmery and the Citri and I screamed very loud. So that her hair was completely golden and her emerald eyes chilled. But that she said quite surprised by her hair color. Issei. But this power that runs between me he said surprised chilled. What happened because you see yourself differently now he said seriously Issei. I will not forgive you for anything in this world he said while walking in front of him. Chilled. Don't even get excited because your hair changed color, you heard he said it while taking a breath and floating to throw an energy burst at Issei chilled. Nothing has changed even though he looks different. He's still a loser, but he saw how Issei came out with his clothes torn and with a quick movement he wanted to hit him in the face, but Issei stopped him with both hands to hold him tightly. Chilled. But what is happening who the hell are you he said scared. Issei. I am just a human he said it seriously chilled. A human he said it surprised Issei. He is prepared he said it seriously and Chilled just looked at him with fear. He said to them while throwing them on the ground several times and kicking them away. But he sent them up to the air with incredible force Chilled. Curse it's impossible that I'm losing against trash like you now die together with this place he mentioned them creating a ball of energy in his hand for Issei. You're the one who will be you he told them while creating a ball of power in his hand and to throw it where the other energy of power was so that they collide with each other, but you could see the advantage that Issei was gaining from the clash of power so that it consumes everything to Chilled Issei. He told them to give his attack more power. Chilled. This is not true he said it shouting as he was consumed by his opponent's attack to kill him. Issei just stared where he went flying child with that attack that already eliminated them. Issei. I could beat him he said them while falling unconscious. Then to flashback Gabriel was shedding a tear as Issei had to face that monster as day by day he had to become stronger to stay alive and only at the age of 6, but he never gave up and kept going. Whoever his opponent was he came out the winner, although she always came out very hurt and on the verge of death Gabriel. Issei sniff I ask you sniff forgiveness for making you. Sniff remember your past sniff you I no longer contacted your story, but no sniff I knew that you suffered sniff. Beladi cried said, but Issei hugs him so that he does not cry anymore Issei. Do not cry anymore, those beautiful eyes do not have to cry for anyone he said smiling to wipe away Issei's tears and Gabriel stayed looking into each other's eyes, each one getting lost in each other's eyes, just by looking at each other they got lost, but each one brought them close to their lips to give each other a tender kiss. A minute passed since that kiss, but both were very blushing, but with a smile each until Issei and Gabriel wanted to talk, but did not have the word Issei. Gabriel I want to tell you something she said nervously Gabriel. I also want to tell you something Issei she nervously said Issei. But first she said nervously since this was her first time Gabriel. It's okay, what do you want to tell me, she said nervously, although inside she was happy for a strange reason. Issei. I love you, Gabriel, he said nervously, and Gabriel listened to that and started to shed tears, but not from sadness, not from happiness, since she also fell in love with Issei. Issei saw what he was shedding tears, he thought she was sad. Issei. Gabriel, if he doesn't love me it's okay, I understand you, but he couldn't finish because Gabriel interrupted them. Gabriel. It's not that, in what I love you too, Issei, more than anyone, please stay by my side, she said to them while hugging them tightly. Issei heard that and became happy to reciprocate the hug because they were very happy. Issei. I will always stay by your side, Gabriel, and I will never leave, she said to they happily gave him a kiss and Gabriel also reciprocated it. Issei. Gabriel, I want to tell you if you would have a date with me, he told them a little embarrassed, although he already confessed that he liked Gabriel. Yes, Issei, I want to have a date with you, he said them happily. Issei. Well, Gabriel, I'll wait for you tomorrow for our date. Because now I'm tired from the battle, he told them with a smile, although Issei loved her go on a date today, but they were really tired and Gabriel, well, she understood because she knew that Issei was exhausted from his battle, but a thought came to her and that made her blush a lot. Gabriel. Issei, can I lose you something, he told them red with embarrassment. Issei. Of course, Gabriel, he told them curious. Gabriel. How about today I can sleep with you please, he told them with innocence. Issei to see her like that he couldn't help it, that she is very beautiful. Issei. Of course, Gabriel, let's go, he told them happy to go out, walking to his room with a smile, each one. Issei, he went to take a shower because they were dirty, but Gabriel, she went to his bed. She was waiting for him there, but she was blushing. When Issei came out of the shower, something made them blush a lot because Gabriel was in a provocative pose. Gabriel. Issei, how do I look, she told them blushing. Issei. You look very beautiful, she told them blushing to get into bed, but Gabriel hugged them very tightly so that it could be seen in their eyes to give each other a kiss. Issei and Gabriel. Have a sweet dream, close your eyes and fall asleep for your date tomorrow. Chapter 17. Issei and Gabriel began to get up and the two saw each other and a blush came out since last night the two revealed that they love each other and Gabriel just hugs him. Gabriel. Good morning, Issei, he said it with a beautiful smile that made the black-haired boy blush a little. Issei. Good morning, Gabriel, he said it calmly and Gabriel gave him a kiss and he reciprocated it. But today he wanted to try something. Issei. Gabriel, can I ask you a question, he said it a little seriously and Gabriel just nods. Gabriel. Yes, what question do you want to know, he said it curious. Issei. God created the angels, right? Now that I have the same power and surpassed them I could not create angels, he said it curious and Gabriel just stays thoughtful since it was true Issei was at the same level as his father. Gabriel. I think so, Issei, but why the question, perhaps he wants to try, he said it curiously and receiving a nod from Issei. Issei. Yes. That's why I want a meeting with the seraphim, he said it seriously and receiving a nod from Gabriel. Gabriel. It's okay, Issei, he said it calmly, so Gabriel had a meeting with the seraphim since Issei wanted to create angels, since he saw a book how it was done, and he wanted heaven to be like it was before in the meeting room, if he could see the four seraphim. Michael, the former leader of heaven, was calm with his joker Dulio and Uriel and Raphael and the queens of Gabriel, Griselda and her ace Marana and Zenobia and Irina. Dulio. Because Issei wants to be at this meeting, he said it curious, the joker of heaven. Michael. The truth is not, but there he took advantage of the fact that we are going to have a meeting with the Asgard faction, he said it calmly. Uriel. I hope it is important, he said it a little seriously. Raphael. It has to be important for this meeting, and if it were not important only Michael said it, he said it would be Griselda. Michael Sama could already invest something about black, he said it would be since everything the seraphim saw that fight. Michael. No. I still don't have an answer, and the leaders of the fallen angels and demons are also investigating it, he said it seriously at that the door opens and reveals Issei and Gabriel, but they notice that they are holding hands. Zenobia. Issei Sama, why is he holding hands with Gabriel? Sama, he said it curiously and everyone paid attention to him and Gabriel just blushes. Gabriel. Is that Issei-kun told me if I wanted to be his girlfriend and I said yes, he said it happy and surprised at everything, but they were happy since Gabriel was always alone, but when Issei arrived changed a lot. Michael. Congratulations, Issei and Gabriel, but that's what he wanted to tell us, he said it curious, but Issei shook his head. Uriel. And then it was not only his relationship with Gabriel that he said it curious. Issei. Actually I want to create angels, he said it seriously and surprised everyone in the room since they never imagined that. Raphael. But Issei, you don't know how to create angels, the only one who could was my father, he said it sadly at the end. Issei. Actually yes I can, he said it a little seriously. Michael. And how do you plan to do it, Issei, he said it seriously since this was an important topic. Issei. The other time I found a book and it explained everything to me. I think your father knew that someone was going to arrive at the angel faction, since it is very well explained, he said it seriously and surprised at everything since not even Gabriel I knew that. Gabriel. But Issei, why didn't you tell me, he said it curious. Issei. I forgot, he said it carefree. Gabriel. Issei kun bad, he said it making a pout. Gabriel. And where is the book, he said it curious. Issei. It disappeared, he said it carefree and making a drop of sweat fall, and I'm style to everything. Arena. And when Var does that is, he said it curiously, and Issei looked at her. Issei. Today I leave it seriously. Julio. Then he wants us to notify the angels, he said it curious and receiving a nod from Issei. Issei. Yes, and also to the leaders of the fallen and demon angels, and your Griselda will take care of that, he said seriously and receiving a nod from Griselda and making the seraphim laugh, including Gabriel. Issei. Why are you laughing, he said it curious. Michael. It's that he hasn't even been a week as leader of heaven and he acts as a true leader, he said it with a sincere smile and blushed a little. Issei is embarrassed. Gabriel. Yes, and he continues doing so, he said it happily and to give Issei a kiss, and he reciprocated it in that he hears something that makes them both blush. Gabriel. Michael, there will soon be a wedding and some children running, and I'm going to be the best man, he said it seriously, and Michael stops to face his brother. Michael English. You are wrong, I am going to be the godfather of my future nephew, he said it seriously and makes Issei and Gabriel blush. Issei. Why don't you tell the other angels that you are going to feel a power from heaven so that they do not upset, he said it to change the subject. Raphael. I think you're right, and Griselda has already left to warn the demons and fallen, he said it seriously and left the room with his brother and Michael and Uriel, who was still fighting, who is going to be the best man at the wedding for his little sister. Gabriel. This, Issei, and you can get it, he said it curiously. Issei. The truth is I am not, as they say around here is that if you don't water you don't win, he said it calmly. Morana. You are already engaged, he said it curiously. Issei. Not yet, he said it calmly and receiving a nod from Gabriel. Morana. Then be happy, he said it happily. Issei. Thank you, Morana, he said it calmly, and Zenobia approaches next to Arena. Zenobia. Issei, and we don't want to do something, she said it curiously, and a denial for Miss. Issei, for today no, but very soon he can do something for me, he said it calmly and receiving a nod from Arena and Zenobia. So 2 hours passed, the angels were already aware that their new leader was going to create new angels, and they got excited because he was going to have a new brother, and to their surprise, the leaders of each faction, fallen angel and demon, were there, like Azazel and Penemu and the demon Surziches, Seraphol, Graphia and the Gremory and Citri group, since they wanted to see Azazel. Then Issei wants to create new angels, he said it calmly since he was worrying if he was not at peace, but now he already had the peace treaty Surziches. Yes, Issei is so kind to the angels, he said it calmly since he had the same thought as Azazel, but he saw that the 4 great seraphim were coming. Michael. Hello Surziches and Azazel and the others, he said it calmly. All's Michael and the others, he said everything there is. And Issei, where is he said it curious since she realized that Issei always had that power, and because of his brutality in the past. Gabriel. It's ready, she said it excitedly, and everything looked up, and Issei was there. Penemu. And how do you plan to do it, she said it curiously. Seraphol. This is very exciting. Sona said it with her childish attitude. English. Sister, already behaving, I would say it would be. Seraphol. 1,000 times I want to be childish and not even torture children like Issei, I would say it would be, and you would sound and laugh, even though I didn't say it to her, but it was true. Raphael. Okay, calm down, I would say it would be since there was Issei's ex-brother. Michael. It's about to begin, I said it seriously, and everyone paid attention, but what nobody knows is that Issei will use one of his transformations, and this time Penemu and Seraphol brought their own camera. But Issei. This was in the air since he wanted to see if he could also create angels. Issei. Here I go, I said it seriously since I didn't know if it would work or not. Issei was concentrated until a blue aura was covered by that aura, and everything felt that his power was increasing rapidly with the leaders. They looked surprised by Issei's power, since he continued to rise quickly, but at the same time he was afraid since no matter who he faces Issei, he held it with his own hand, and with the demons they felt the worst chill that could ever happen, like Rias, Sona, Isai, Ikki, Akeno, Asia, Tsubaki, Saji, Kiba, Kaneko, Surziches, Graphia. Seraphol, they were afraid of that power, and Surziches was happy since he made the peace treaty, or else his faction would fall by the hand of Issei with the fallen Azazel and Penemu. He was really surprised, since that boy was so young, and had that power. Not even his father had that power, but the same with the demon. He was happy, since they made peace with the angels. They were also surprised, although Issei told him that he had many transformations, one is to say it, but seeing it in person was surprising. How Michael and the other seraphim and archangels are amazed, and Gabriel, she felt the aura of her beloved protecting her, and Dulio, Griselda, Zenobia and Arena did not. I knew what he thought since Issei still kept a lot of secrets, but I admired Issei since with that much power he would be arrogant and believed himself superior. But everyone paid attention as that blue aura covered Issei's body. But Issei was covered with that blue aura for a moment, but then he lets Issei see his new form. His hair was blue like his eye color. Everyone had their eyes wide open at Issei's new appearance, and the strangest thing was that they couldn't feel his presence like the demons and the fallen, and the angels already knew the answer because they couldn't feel his aura. The other part. You could see a black-haired man who was sitting, but for a moment he smiled because he felt that power. Black. With which you use Super Saiyan Blue to create angels, this will be very interesting. I already want to fight you, Issei, and show that I am more powerful. He said it with a somewhat evil smile. In the sky surges. Because I don't feel your aura, he said it surprised since he still doesn't surpass it. Gabriel. Issei in that form is a god, Issei told us the other time, he said it smiling at the faces of the leaders. Even Graphia herself had a surprised face. Sona. You said. B1.D god, he said it scared, and she was N''T the only one like her group of Ella and the Gremory were more than terrified. Azazel. And. I imagine that NOEST all your power. See. True, he said it nervously and receiving a denial from the leaders of the Sky Penemu. It has to be a joke, he said it surprised, but she saw that Issei said a word since his aura increased suddenly with Issei. Well, here I go. Akakin X10 his power increased suddenly and above him, portals were made. But the leaders. They no longer had a word for the transformations of that boy, and they also saw how he created portals and felt many presences of pure heart like Gabriel, and he was high class, and no one said anything about that since Issei was achieving it. Julio. Issei is creating high-class angels, he said it surprised Marana. Yes, and there are a lot, he said it surprised Surziches and Azazel were about to faint from that pressure that Issei sent, and they also began to release their aura to resist a little longer. Surziches. Look, something comes out of those portals, he said it seriously, and everyone paid attention with Issei. He continued to increase his aura more and more than 10,000.0000 bright lights came out of those portals and landing, seeing many angels that had wings white as snow, and Issei already stopped increasing his power since he achieved it, with the leaders Surziches and Seraphol was surprised since Issei could create angels, and more was at the same level as the high-class demons, but some were in another level, but he was not strong like the Seraphim. Azazel and Penemu were more than amazed since Issei was able to achieve it. The leaders of the angels were happy since there were many angels. Michael. Thank you, Issei, he said it happily. Gabriel. Issei, you're the best, he said it happily. The takeout his 12 golden wings and go where Issei was to hug him and give him a kiss and surprised everyone but more Azazel since his motivation to live already had an owner. Azazel. Michael, don't tell me that is. But I can't finish, as Michael agreed, and Azazel fell to his knees. Michael. That's right, friend. Azazel and Issei and Gabriel got engaged, he said it with a smile and surprised at everything, but he already saw it coming since those two were always together. Azazel. I had sniff that sb your Beyonce, he said it crying since his dream has already been claimed, but he saw how Gabriel and Issei were down in the air. Issei. Go if you could already, what's wrong with you, he said it curiously seeing Azazel crying. Azazel. You take away what belonged to me, he said it depressed Issei. And I took it from you, he said it curiously, and when Azazel was going to say it, Surziches covered his mouth since he didn't want to say to get angry. Surziches. Don't take it into account, he said it nervously. Issei. I have a proposal for you, like the demon and fallen like peace treaty, he said it calmly and called the attention of all minor leaders of the heavens since they had agreed with that decision. Penemu. And what is it, he said it curiously. Issei. I will create a dimension for the fallen angels, like the same terrain of the demons, he said it calmly and surprised the fallen Azazel. Really, boy, he said it amazed since Issei could create a new Grigori. And Issei. Yes, and stop the demons. I will raise the birth rate from 8% to 50% probability, he said it calmly, and Surziches and Seraphol liked each other that proposal. Seraphol. Really, he said it happily since Issei the demons would not have to wait 100 years for this pregnant Issei. Of course, he said it calmly and receiving a nod from everyone. Surziches and Azazel. Thank you, Issei, the two demon leaders and fallen said it. Issei. You're welcome. Michael and the others would take care of the new angels. I think I went too far, he said it nervously since he went overboard, and I think a lot of angels. Michael. Don't worry, he said it calmly. Issei. Thank you and sorry for increasing his work even more, he said it calmly, and to leave there with Gabriel and leaving Michael with a face of horror next to Surziches and Azazel, since it was true now he would have a lot more work than before. MSA. Issei, the three of them said it at the same time since with that enemy, it has no end, and everything was looked at with pity, and each one retired to their faction and faced their worst enemy, but this time with the triple with Issei and Gabriel, they left there because they didn't want him to kill Issei for increasing his workload for each leader. Gabriel. I tried Michael, now it will have to be triple his work, he said smiling. Issei. Yes, you're right, but I think I need to create another 3 floors for the new angels, Gabriel said calmly. Issei, no, he is tired. I say you created a lot of angels, she said, worried. Issei. Actually it is easy, she said it calmly and snapped her finger, and a little power, and the sky began to temper about 5 minutes, then Michael and the other seraphim came out. Michael. Issei, what did you do, she said, a curious Gabriel. Issei created 3 more floors for the new angels, she said it calmly and surprised the seraphim, and Michael could only be in a corner with a depressive aura. Raphael. Oh brother, now you will not have more time, she said it smiling. Issei. I'm sorry Michael, but it was necessary to create another 3 more floors, she said it calmly, and receiving a nod from everyone since Issei went overboard creating a lot of angels. Gabriel. Issei, now I remember, we are going to have a peace treaty with the Asgard faction, he said it calmly and receiving a nod from Issei. Issei. And when is that meeting, he said it curious. Michael. 3 weeks in the underworld, and there will also be a meeting of young demons, and everyone will attend that party, he said it seriously. Issei. Okay, well, I'm retreating to the human world, Gabriel is coming with me, he said it calmly, and Gabriel stood next to Issei and disappeared from that place. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown in left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.